Good morning, Soldier Boy here, and welcome back to RoadCraft's DLC Rebuild, or the Rebuild DLC in RoadCraft, whichever way you want to say it. We're back today for 3.5 hours as we continue on from yesterday's stream. Now, yesterday's stream, we managed to get a bit more infrastructure stuff done before we managed to clear enough of the main missions to finish the first part of the 3-part story to the map itself. And we began the Purge, as it's called. We also tried to get some of the side missions done. We finally got the water delivered to the village. That mission's been on us for quite a while, to be fair. And yeah, we just made some decent progress. We started at 40% and we finished the stream at 49%, which was pretty good. But yeah, that's it. And this is the last stream of the week. We are finishing off the week as we continue on in RoadCraft. My thinking this as well for next week ahead of time. Obviously, we have the Mirage DLC releasing Tuesday. I still don't know what time. I'm still trying to find out. Once I know, we'll put that into the schedule. We may start it Tuesday morning if it's released at midnight, as you'd expect. We may have to wait till Wednesday, depending on release time. There will still be more RoadCraft next week as well. Episodically next week, I am struggling a little bit. I've really struggled this week. It's my own fault. I should have Well, I've got 3 adverts before I can even see my own stream. How does that work? It's not normal. So I'm just checking the sound. There we go. Yeah, so I'm still trying to work out what's going to happen next week. Obviously, the episodic stuff is the one that's struggling with, mainly because I kind of thought, well, although we've had 2 weeks off, we'll be fine. And it's not been fine. I've struggled massively physically this week, doing 5 streams in a row. I should have scheduled it off midweek. That would have helped me massively. And that knock-on effect has gone on to our episodic content. So I'm hoping to have some back next week, but there's no guarantees at this point. It's been a real struggle, but it's not forever. We will be back to normal, hopefully pretty soon, and get everything back to where it should be. I haven't started recording Far Cry 6 yet. I've just not been able to sit up. We finished these streams this week, and because it's been so tough on me, after 2 weeks of not streaming, I just can't sit up much once I finish streaming. It's ridiculous. Making lunch is just horrific, but that will get better once we get back into streaming again. It's just getting back used to it again. It's one of those things. I can't avoid it. It's just annoying because I want to get the episode kind of back to what it was. That's the hardest part, I think, of anything. Right, enough of doom and gloom. Let's get into RoadCraft. As we load in, we're on contamination map 49% complete. We're on phase 2 of the 3 parts to the map. 11 of 23 infrastructure requests complete. 15 of 39 objectives and 15 of 22 side objectives. And the only thing really not opened up on the map now is the steel beam facility. I think that's something we'll be looking to open up sooner rather than later. Also, while we think back to yesterday for a second, I just wanted to say, obviously we had a really interesting question from LVs yesterday. That wasn't meant to happen the day before, but YouTube wouldn't allow the question. And I just wanted to say that I'm more than happy to answer anything. If anyone has a question for me, don't be afraid to ask it. If I can't answer, I will give you a reason to why I won't answer it. But generally, I'm more than happy to answer anything, especially about my condition and stuff. And I think it's important sometimes to get out. I found it really cathartic. I know it was probably about an hour of just chatting away about the same thing. But I did find it really cathartic to actually talk about it, which is always nice. That's the thing. So yeah, massive thank you to LVs for the question. It was appreciated. I think it's helped me a little bit more than I thought at the time, if that makes sense. Right, let's have a look at what we're doing. So we finished off yesterday's stream by clearing this railway section. It needed doing for the railway repairs. And it's the first main mission of the new missions as part 2 of the 3 parts of the map. I know that sounds really weird. We still have side missions to do. We're going to do one main, one side, as we always have done. So we need to prepare resources for railway repairs is the mission we're on currently. And for this, we need to bring resources to the zone. We need to get to the steel beam facility. And we need to deliver 6 logs and also make and deliver 8 beams. Now, the weird thing about this is we're at the steel beam facility and yet they need 8 beams delivered. Not too sure how that works, but there we go. We do have a crane here, and the recycling part is here. So while we're here, let's just have a quick look. Is this all metal there? There is some metal. So let's quickly jump into this. There is some metal bits here. We haven't used one of these massively, but I just think while there's some metal laying around, let's quickly get it recycled, and then we'll have some beams ready to pick up. Again, we haven't used one of these much, so this probably will be a bit tricky. It's quite deceiving where the actual stuff is. Oh, okay, that won't pick that up. I thought I'd be able to grab that easily, to be fair. It's not going to pick it up, is it? Wrong way, that way. Let's go that way. Yeah, I'm not too sure how easy this will be to pick up, actually. I thought it wouldn't be too bad, but actually looking at it... Have we got it? I think we have. So you can see all the metal on the floor here. There's not as much here as it actually looks that we can actually recycle. A lot of it is just for show, it seems. There you go, it's gone. And I think the only other bit, if we... Wrong button. If we put on resources here, you can actually see there's only 2 more bits here to pick up. There's a lot more further away, but I just thought while we're here, get a few bits in, and then we'll move the bridge across and get this sorted. What we'll do, we need to find somewhere we can take some trees from. It's fairly close to here, I would say. And then we can pick those up. And bring them here as well. It's really deceiving when you pick things up like this. You haven't a massive amount of experience with cranes like this, to be fair. We got it? Yeah. At least this will be a couple of bits of metal in. And I'd kind of hope that all that pile of metal that we can see, thanks for the likes, whoever that was, much appreciated. I thought a lot of that metal we can see down here would be grabbable and chucked in, but it's a lot to show by looks of things as the rain starts. Just like it is in real life today here in the UK, it's a very nasty day weather-wise. Not that it affects me, I'm not leaving the house today, I don't know normally, but... Okay, this might be a little bit tricky to grab with this, to be fair. We got it. No, wrong way, this way. Right, that's the last thing kind of to pick up here by looks of things. We dropped just on the edge there as well, annoyingly. That's probably easier just to push it. We close that and then swing this round that way. It's in. Right, what we'll do is lift this up and move it slightly away. If you see, when we actually get these metal beams actually made, they're going to come out of that window just to our right hand side up there. That's a little bit different to normal, isn't it? Normally they're on the floor. There's a ramp though we can use to pick them up, to be fair. But, okay, so we've got a bit of metal into there. There are some trees here, which I'm thinking may be what we want to use. There's also a road for us to build here. Obviously, we don't quite know how we're going to get to it just yet. We have got the small bridge down here we can utilise. This is the one that opened up that area to start with, this wooden one. It is a whole bridge to use, as we found originally when we had to deliver stuff to here. We have also, I think, potentially got a way across here, but we don't know for sure. It's my little boy hopefully stays at school. I say hopefully he will be at school. It's not like he's gonna not turn up. They're in pyjamas because of children need, which is a bit not very good when it's going to chuck it down in rain all day. But last day of the week is happy. Okay, so still being facility is obviously what we're kept focusing on. We do need 6 logs. As I say, there looks like trees around the location, so we could, if we can get our crayfish there, that would help massively. Now, looking at ways across, we don't really know because we haven't explored too much over there. So we've got to kind of have a look and see how we get across to it. Really, there is water here, so there's no way across there. We have got a bridge here that I think we can open up, but it still says we need a road. So it may be a case we need to build this road first before we can really utilise this facility fully. So I think our first port of call, get the bridge opened up, swing this bridge around so we can use it, and then we'll go across and assess the situation, I think is the first thing. We're going to need a big crane here. You know, I was saying that we couldn't find much concrete. Some concrete down there. We've always been saying we're struggling to find concrete on this map. Now, I'm pretty sure we can't hook this up with our... Oh, we can. Would it work? No. We did try moving these originally with scout vehicles, and this is why we didn't realise that we didn't know why they wouldn't move or wouldn't work, and we thought there was maybe a mission-related thing. Turns out the scouts just aren't strong enough to make a move, essentially. So we need a big crane here. I don't think we have one nearby, do we? Our nearest big crane is probably over here somewhere. Yeah, okay, we're going to need to get a crane over. That's our bridge layer there. I think we've got to get one of our big cranes to drive across. I'm trying to think where we last had cranes. Oh, wasn't it at the port? I keep turning the map around to figure out where things are, and it's actually confusing the hell out of me in terms of where things are currently. The port is there. No, we don't have a big crane there. I don't know where we left the crane last, to be fair then. Our nearest place to get there is probably not the loading station. I'm just trying to see where our nearest place is. It's probably going to be the tunnel exit base, isn't it? I think that's our nearest place to grab a big crane. Yeah, I think it is. Okay. Which crane to grab is the other question, though, isn't it? And it has to, I think it's got to be a big one to work, because it needs the power. We quickly switch to this. Where are we? That's in the trees. Oh, we finished that mission, didn't we, there? Okay, I think we recall this one. We had to finish the mission of clearing the areas, and we had the issue with one area. We had to clear some old pipes out of it, and we just couldn't get that pipe to move. It took us a while to get it to work, but it did in the end. Just, I don't know why it was so tough to move it, but we got it there in the end. That's the main thing. Right, we've got to drive down to where that bridge is, get the bridge moved, and then we'll go and assess the situation in terms of this road. If we can get the mission done without making the road, we'll do that. But if we need the road to make our life easier, we'll make the road. We may have to use the heavy equipment transporter just to get some other road building equipment there. Otherwise, it will take us a while, I think, to get everything there, because the roller and the asphalt layer are the two slower vehicles, essentially. We won't really know that until we could, if we wanted to, pull in our mobile base and basically get all the vehicles there that way. That may be an option. Right, and we've got 21 tokens so far on this map to use. We just have to check in case there's any more quarries that need opening up with tokens, because obviously we don't want to leave ourselves short. But that's the only thing I think we need to double check. Right, let's have a little way in here. If we need to head to the right. It's just a case of trying to work out what we need. I've got a feeling this mission may change. So once we do the logs and the steel beams, think it may then change to deliver the track that needs replacing, because we actually pulled up 2 bits of track, clearing the way. So because of that, I've got a feeling we may need to deliver that as part of this mission, or it may just become a separate mission and this one will be done once this is done. I don't know. Sometimes the missions do have more parts to it, but you don't see that until you complete the first part. So we'll see what happens, but that's kind of my general feeling. I think it will swap, mainly because it's done so in the past. I didn't want to go here, did I? We should have gone up here. We're going to this bridge here. Yeah, we haven't driven much around this area. That's the thing. A lot of our stuff has been further out, hence why I'm a little bit unsure of where we go sometimes. And also not being able to play this for 2 weeks as we haven't been streaming. That's the thing, that doesn't help either. But yeah, Assassin's Creed Mirage, we will begin that DLC next week. And then Ghost of Yotai, which won the recent vote for next main live stream game, will begin as soon as we finish either this or Assassin's Creed Mirage's DLC. So we shouldn't have too long a wait to begin that. And then we'll have the vote after that for what's next. I need to start looking at next year a little bit as well and see what's coming out next year that we want to do on release, or want to at least ask you guys whether we do it on release or not. The Wolverine game, I think that won't be voted. I think I'm just gonna do it because I really want to play it when it finally releases. That's one of the games that I think next year is either going to really, really fly, or is going to be a big letdown. I'm hoping it's the first one, not the latter, because it could go either way. I think the issue with Wolverine, it needs to be more adulty than childlike, if that makes sense. I think if it's not, what am I doing here? So I'm trying to work out what I needed to press, and I couldn't think what it was from it there. Yeah, I think if it's too childlike or too family friendly, it's not going to do it justice. That's my only real concern with it. I can't turn anymore. I can't turn anymore. We quickly grab the other side, maybe. We don't need much more. I'd rather a little bit straighter than it is, though. Won't let me change, will it? Oh, don't go that way. Why don't I go this way? Oh, I didn't know this. That's something I didn't realise. So once you attach to the bridge, you can actually rotate it by doing load rotation. I did not know that. That would make life so much easier when it comes to moving these bridges. I think that's the last one we need to move. When we've worked out load rotation, will do it for us straight away. That's a bit annoying. We've just worked that out. I just always thought we had to move the crane head to make it move, but obviously not. Okay, that's something different. Just annoying. It's now after we've moved all the bridges around, I think. We know for next time. I still haven't had a look either if there's anything else coming to RoadCraft in the near future. I know there are some new vehicles coming in November, this month. I don't know the exact date, I've not looked, but I need to have a look and just see if there's anything else, so we know if we're coming back or not in the future. Okay, so this is where it wants us to build a road. This is the start of the road. Okay, I've seen what it wants us to do here. So this is an area that's been deforested, I would say, to a degree, and it wants us to clear this whole pathway, which will lead to here, the metal beams facility. Looking at that, we do need to do that, because that is going to be a nightmare otherwise. You can see how many tree stumps there are around the place. Yeah, we're going to need to do this then. we also need to chop some trees down anyway for the mission we're on that needs delivering here, so that can be part of that as well. But yeah, I think we are going to need to clear this road. I'm just going to drive through it so that on the map we can see it properly and just assess exactly what we need. But I think we've got two choices here. We can either speed things up for ourselves by using our mobile base and pull vehicles in to use. Obviously the trees we chop down we'll use for the mission we're on. But we're going to need the crayfish, we're going to need the vehicle that gets rid of the tree stumps, and then we're going to need all our road equipment as well. Oh, that's a good point. Is there a quarry nearby? I'll have a look at that in a second, because if there's no quarry that's going to prove difficult. Look at the size of that tree. Yeah, this is going to be a bit of a job, so I think the road is going to be needed really before we try and complete this mission here, just to make our lives a little bit easier. Otherwise it's going to be a nightmare to get stuff here. At least the trees will help with the mission, at the very least. That is going to be a big road as well. That also tells me potentially if we're building a road there's going to be a convoy at some point, I think. But yeah, that's a big job. Well, that looks like that's the first thing we're doing today then. Let's just have a look where we are on the map now. So we've opened this up a little bit. This is the road it wants us to build. I want to see if there's any more bridges. It doesn't look like there are. Obviously we don't know more about this north side, although that looks like it's just water, to be fair. And we don't know if this connects over here. Although if it does, I don't think we'll be able to use it. That's where the train went down, to be fair. There is a little bit of connection here potentially. Not that matters, the scout over there is on this side anyway. Right, I think we're going to have to do the road. What I wanted to see, sand quarry, there's a quarry there. How far does that stretch? Not far at all, does it? Okay. Is there any other quarries nearby? There's a warehouse 501 here, which is something we've not seen before. I don't think... I think we drive south. I want to see if there's a quarry down here. I'm not too sure how we're going to get sand over this whole route of the road, because that's nowhere near close enough. And even if we use other vehicles, I don't think they're going to reach. I don't want to go back and forth just to get sand if we can avoid it, but we may not have a choice. But I want to see if there's something down here. I don't know what mission that is there. If we go that way, what's that objective? Oh, that's the samples for the water samples we need to take. Jake, good morning, how are you? Yeah, the scalpel, I was thinking that. It all depends. That is quite sandy. If we get it over this kind of edge, maybe it'll be wide enough. I don't know if it will, though, to be fair. The scalpel doesn't have a massive radius. I don't even know if that will reach. But let's just drive further down and see if there is a quarry nearby down here. Because I'm not sure that scalpel will reach, to be fair. What's this here? Ah, there's sand here, potentially. Is that sand or is that's mud, isn't it? It's not sand. There is an opportunity for a bridge here as well, if we wanted one. But yeah, it's whether the scalpel will give enough distance, that's the only thing. Good morning. Well, that sand there, so that might be a better option then. But maybe we might need to use some of the heavy sand machines. I'm losing the plot today. The heavy, come on. What are they called? Bridge layer, cable layer. I can't think for life of me. Heavy dump truck, that's what I'm trying to say. It may be the heavy dump truck. I'm going to have to set a few of those up as a convoy, potentially, and go that way. I don't think there is another... There's no more sand around anywhere, is there? That's the only quarry nearby, I think. So potentially, I still don't think that's close enough, to be fair. I know it can be deceiving. You think there's another spot, do you? Okay, well, let's open up this bottom bit here and see what's here. Again, a lot of these quarries are quite small. That's the thing. I suppose if we got a scalper over this kind of area, it may just reach across the water. I'm not 100%. The good thing you can do, though, I believe, and I'm not 100%, we might have to test this. If you get the AI to do your sand on a road, it doesn't run out. There is always that opportunity. And if it doesn't run out, then that helps massively. Right, is there anything over this way? I think this is going to be more driving slow and scanning. Yeah, that's true. I don't think there's anything else here. I think this is all just swampy, where it's kind of flooded a bit more than anything else. I was just trying to see if there's actually any more quarries around this bottom bit, but by the looks of it, I don't think there will be. Yeah, it's all just swamp, isn't it? Unless there's something here, which I don't know how we. I think we have to go back to steel beams to get to that. Maybe. Am I going to drown this? No, we're okay. Oh, this is all contaminated, isn't it? You can see all the green sludge. It's all the contamination. Probably shouldn't really be driving through it, to be fair. Decontaminate the scout vehicle afterwards. That's all. Yeah, that's all the contamination that we're dealing with currently. With a bit that's lost a lot of trees. Just wanted to see what over this side was. Okay. So yeah, that's just all another area that's. I don't think there's anything really for us to do out this side. No. May have to do something with these later, but yeah, this is all the contamination. Hence why we need a water sample over here, to be fair. So the only thing we've not looked at is this bit here. I don't think there's going to be another quarry, is there, though? I think that is our only one nearby. You reckon other end of the bridge? Ah, did I not go further enough south here to see the quarry there, maybe? This is why I didn't want to spend all our tokens too quickly to get vehicles here, just in case we did need to open up more quarries. Because some of them we do need to use tokens to open up. That's our road there. I don't think I fully opened this bit down here up. Okay, I'm in two minds really about what the best plan of attack is here. Oh, it's more that way I want it to look. I don't think there's anything there though, actually. It was this bit here where we hadn't opened up fully. There's nothing there. No. Okay. So that is sand there then. We can now see it is a bit clearer. And we've got a sand quarry here. Again, that's still gonna be tough, isn't it? But yeah, mobile scalper's probably our best bet, like you say there, I think. I think our best bet right now is to get our vehicle that we mobile base here, and then we can call vehicles to it, because we're going to need quite a lot of vehicles here. We don't generally use the mobile base and call vehicles, but I think at this point there is quite a lot to do in that one area that's going to need quite a lot of different vehicles. So I think that is our best option. Why is everything in the shop? I haven't got anything new, I don't think. Telling me, unless I've missed vehicles being added, I've got a thing there to say there's new vehicles. So the orange little spot is normally something new that you haven't looked at. I don't think there is, though. Obviously, the SAR trucks we've not used, but there's never really been a reason to use them. I think we've used one as part of the a mission potentially previously, but other than that, why is that dot still there? That dot annoys me when it doesn't disappear. There's nothing new that I can see. Right, back to garage and ignore that. So we want our. I think we'll take the newer mobile base once we actually find it. Because we can also call the scalper in there as well, and then we can get around the other side. Must have gone past it. That's not the new one, is it? Is that the new one? I can't remember what the new one's called. There's a new mobile base that, for some reason, I can't remember what it is. It's been we don't use the mobile bases very often. This one was there we go. The Warden Koznik. That's what I'm looking for. It's not that one. So where's the Warden Koznik? We know we have one. They're expensive, but we did get one when we started DLC. There it is. That's what I was looking for. Learned a lot about the scalper use. Needed a lot in this map. Oh, really? I don't think. Thanks for the like, but I was much appreciated. I don't think we've really used it on this map as of yet. Have we? No. The final map of the base game, we used it. Or was it this? No, it was this map. Did we? Yeah, because we used it for this road here. Because we put it on top of this hill where the chair is, just there, and got it for this road here. I think that's the only time we used it because our scalper was currently over here. We may have used it over here as well, actually. I can't remember now. But yeah, we've used it more probably on this map than we have on anything else, to be fair. So we're going to get this to the bridge and over, and we're going to use this to get vehicles over to make this road, just because it will make life a little bit easier. Normally we drive them all individually or load up the heavy transporter. But I think if we spend a few of our tokens, it's not the end of the world, as we don't really use it. And you can buy tokens from the shop as well, as we found out yesterday. Is that, oh, that's the two camera choices. I took the corner too quick. Really up close or inside. That's the two camera choices. To be fair, we haven't got too far to go, really. But yeah, I'm trying to think of any other map. We've tried to use it on previous maps and couldn't get it to work, I think was the thing. But we've used it more efficiently on this one. Okay, we're going to head through the centre, over the railway track, over the bridge, and then we're there. I think first and foremost we'll probably call in our stump grinder, and then between that and the crayfish we can clear some of that area. Obviously the logs we're going to need to pick up so we can deliver 6 as part of this mission. The rest we can always store if need be, and this can store stuff in, so that's quite handy to have this nearby, to be fair. I hadn't thought of that side of things, but actually having this nearby, we can store all the extra logs for when we need them next. Just coincidence, as that's going to work in our favour more than anything else, I think. But yeah, So we're going to spend 2 tokens on the stump grinder and the crayfish, and then we're going to need scalper. Although we could drive the scalper there, to be fair. We don't have to call it in, it's not too far away. And then we need heavy dumper, at least 1. Grader, asphalt layer, and roller. So what's that, 6 or 7 I think we're going to need them. We've got 21, so we've got plenty. And I can't see another quarry on the map that needs opening up with tokens. And we've uncovered the majority of the map now, so I don't think we need to worry about that. And some missions gives us tokens anyway, to be fair. I will say, driving this thing a bit more of a distance, it's not very good at turning. The turning circle is not very handy. But I suppose it's not meant to be, is it? It's quite a cumbersome vehicle in a way. It has got track, so it can go really well over rough terrain, but I think it's just because it's so cumbersome. It's just awkward. But this will be the first time I'm really using this. Yeah, to be fair, I think I get confused between mud and sand a lot of the time though. Just because I think in some areas, especially when it starts raining, it's a little bit darker. I think it can look very similar, to be fair. Okay, let's park this up to this left-hand side. Okay, first thing we're going to call in then. So we want... Oh, can we recall vehicles that are deployed? Hang on a second then. Oh no, we can't. Why is it good? Is it wanting me to call in 4 Oh, okay, it's because I think, or where we are, it's looking at the vehicles needed for this job. Yeah. I think it's because we're too close to this. So it's thinking we want vehicles for that, which we don't. Just reverse a little bit here then. Let's go that. Why is that only giving me the option to do those? I don't... Okay. So we can call 4 vehicles at once, but it's only giving me the options as part of building a road. I don't want building the road ones. Because I need... Yeah, because they're rollers, asphalt layers, graders, and the dumpers. I don't want any of those. Okay, we might have to go further back then. All I can guess it's because of where the mission, what's there. Now it's back to normal. There we go. We just needed to be further away from this bit here. That's all it was. So what we actually need, I don't know if it's in garage or not, to be fair. That's in our garage. Obviously I don't know what the best stump grinder is. It might be actually deployed. Yeah, I think what we need is deployed. So we've got that one there. I think we'll use that one to recall that one now. There we go. So yeah, it's because of how close we were, is why straight away it was saying we had to bring the other things in. We've got dark again now, which is going to be a bit tricky to see things. Right, let's clear this path first and foremost. And then once we get to the trees that we need to cut down, we'll call in the crayfish. say we'll use those for the mission anyway. Rid of any trees that are potentially close to the road, because we generally, the road goes a bit wider than you first think. Go a bit lower for this one. Okay, it's not making a noise, that one. Try that. Okay, I'll just pull the stump out rather than grinding it. There we go. There we go. Too close to the floor there. Right, the big stump, I think we're going to just have to grind it away. If we can. That's not mulch, is not. Why is the mulch turning itself off? There we go, tree's gone. That tree couldn't be used anyway, so we just needed to get rid of it. These smaller ones will go down. Oh, it's because we can't mulch here according to that. Okay, is that... I think that's a tree to cut down there. So let's just move this back a bit. For some reason it keeps cutting off the mulcher side. I'm not too sure why. Well, it's saying that still go. No, actually mulch is gone. I don't know why it keeps cutting off the mulch. That's a bit weird. Right, we need to cut down a few trees. So we jump back into this and we'll call in our... I don't know if it's... Is it? I think it's deployed. We want the Aromatsu crayfish. There we go. Let's bring that in. This vehicle is probably my favourite vehicle in the whole game. We just need to make sure the road can be wider than what it shows, because that's something we will utilise. I think we'll be fine. Let's cut some trees down. Is that not a tree to cut there? That tree's not showing up as cuttable, weirdly. Okay, it can be cut, I think. It's just not giving me the option of the crayfish. Yeah, it goes green, so it is doable. I might be too far away to be fair. I think the branches make it look like it's closer than it actually is. I don't want the one to the left, I want the one here. There we go. Just need to be in the right position. Okay, if we swing this round here for the minute, obviously I want it out the way, but we want to be able to pick these up, as we will need them in due course. One here, so we'll open this up a bit more. Obviously we'll have to grind the stumps away in a second. That tree there. I had pressed it, for some reason it stopped it. Actually makes us be able to see a little bit further ahead of us now. So we need 6 logs anyway, so these will be very useful for that. Okay. This small tree here, oh, that is cuttable. There we go. I wasn't sure if that would be, to be fair. Looked too thin. Well, that's 3 of the 6 we need for the mission anyway, which is a good start. And there's plenty more here when we need them. And whatever's left over, we can store in our mobile base anyway. So that does make a difference. the minute I'm only cutting down the trees that are in our way. I think we'll hold off on extras for the minute. We just need to get away through here. Okay. We move this forward. I think what we do is get stump grinder in for them 4 stumps there for the minute. And then we'll carry on cutting the trees as we go along. We could leave the stumps till last, but the annoying thing if we do is they'll just be in the way of the crayfish moving going forward. It's a little bit easier to do a few at a time as we go. Right, let's move this back. Right, back to crayfish. Let's take this one here as well. We kind of want to be able to view what's going on ahead, so some of these ones close to probably worth taking down just so we've got a bit of clearing more than anything else. Right, there's one to the left as well. This is going to be probably one of the longest. No, we've done longer actually thinking about it. I was going to say this might be the longest road we've done, but I don't think it will be actually. Done some pretty long roads. I don't know how many trees there is now. That may be actually the 6 we need done. Okay, well, there's one ahead of us here. I don't quite know why it zoomed out so far, but it did. Looking a bit clearer up ahead now at least. It may need to be a little bit careful there when grinding that stump, just because them trees are quite close. We don't want to lose any of them. Right, what else have we got? That one's fine. There's one to our left here. Let's get rid of that one. How far through this? Oh, we're not even... no, we're about halfway, I think, roughly. Got to make sure the logs are out the way of the grinder, stump grinder really, when you come past. So there's no chance of losing them. And then we've got to deal with this sand situation. But even if we call the scalper in for where our mobile base is, that will still be fairly close to it. Just working out the best position. I'd say we can do a convoy of heavy dumpers, so it just transfers sand from one to another to another to another. We can do that if needed. That's the thing. Right. 2 small ones, thin ones there we don't need to do anything about. move this forward. We'll take this one here. That's actually here. And then we'll grind out as far as we've got so far and see where we're at. There's definitely more than the 6 logs we need for the mission, with all the extras. I'm wondering about this one here, to be fair. Just shows a bit more visibility more than anything else. Going to give me the option to do so. Sometimes you need to get it needs to be the vehicle itself that picks for you. I find with this, I still think it's the best vehicle we have, but sometimes you need to let the vehicle show which one you can use, which one you can actually cut, rather than try and get it there yourself. See, that one's now showing red. There's 2 here, I didn't realise that. That's one of them. That's why it looks so bushy then, probably. I like to have some view, that's the thing. The lack of wooden bridges. We had to build some wooden bridges to start with because we couldn't use concrete for a while. I'm not a fan of wooden bridges, to be fair, personally. I find wooden bridges are too thin. I'd much rather have a concrete bridge, a wide one especially. I'm not a fan of the wooden bridges. Obviously they're cheap to build, essentially. But yeah, I'm not a massive fan, I would say. Okay, let's jump into the stump grinder. That was the only thin ones, not the bigger, better ones. Yeah, that's the issue with me. I always prefer the actual wide concrete one. I don't even like the metal ones, to be fair. It's just the wide concrete I find the best. Maybe it's because my driving is sometimes all over the place. I like something that I can actually go on that's not going to make me struggle to get through. But yeah, I'm just not a fan of the thinner ones. Just in case we do go slightly wider than the road, let's just quickly get rid of this one. No, I don't want to lose the insurance. There we go. Need to be a bit lower. Oh yeah, no, obviously until you got the concrete, yes. The thing I found a little bit of a letdown is the mobile bridges. I thought it would be really good to use them. We wait till the DLC because they're DLC vehicles. But actually, they're too small. We have utilised them in 2 places, but in general, they're just too small. So they don't have as much use as I thought we'd have with them. I did think we use them a lot more than we have. Right, these thin trees can go. I've actually just pulled the root out of that one. See, the roots will come out of that one. My mulcher switched off again. There we go, it's gone. I don't know why my mulcher switched off. Okay. I'm not sure why that keeps switching itself off. It's a bit weird. Lift that up. I think we need to get rid of this one to our left as well. I'm just trying to move this out of the way. As I say, I do want quite a wide area if we can. The actual ground here looks a bit sandy as well, to be fair. I don't want that one, I want this one here. There we go. Yeah, like I said, there's a couple of small areas we've used them. One for a convoy, just to make the life a little bit easier. I just kind of feel like they should have more use. I kind of understand though, you're not going to get a mobile bridge that covers some of these big gaps. It's not doable, is it? But because of how big the gap is. So I do understand that, but at the same time, just want them to have more of a use. You've used sand to fill the gaps. Yeah, we probably could have that. It was, I think, for me, it was I wanted to use it, and that's more the thing. And that because they were really the only use we had for them. I just wanted to make sure we used them at least a few times. Come on, there we go. We're getting there though, we can see the opening ahead, so we're not far off finishing cutting trees down at the very least. Right, a couple of stumps here. We can just get around the side, I think. I'm probably taking down more trees than I need to, but just because the more open area we have to work with, I think the easier it'll be to do this road. I just like space. Plus, if we then meet a vehicle on the way, like a convoy vehicle, there's space to move off the road and don't have to worry too much about crashing or anything. Come on, go green. Obviously, we need to get a bit closer, I think. There we go. LVs, good morning, how are you? I'm not too bad today, thank you, not too bad. Yeah, well, I tend to make them wider myself, to be fair. At the start, when we opened the smaller vehicles, we used to do 2 runs of sand. So we could actually get it wider ourselves for passing. With the bigger vehicles that we got later on in the game, they're fairly wide anyway. The asphalt layer is a lot wider, so we don't have to do it twice now. And so is the grader. The newer grader, the tank version, seems to do better as well. Do you think everyone has? Yeah. They just weren't wide enough otherwise. But yeah, the new vehicles, you don't need to do that as much, I find. I did say at the start of the stream, Elvis, about saying thank you to you for your question yesterday. I said in my half last night. I actually found it really cathartic to actually talk about it in the detail we did, because obviously there's still things I'm dealing with and trying to accept. So yeah, I just found it really helpful. So thank you for that. I know obviously you didn't, or you wasn't aiming for that, but that's kind of what I get out of it. If that makes sense. I realised afterwards as well, we were talking about that question for probably a good hour by the end of it. Okay. Not much more to go then, I think. Yeah, we're getting to the end of these trees, the last few here, and then it's all stumps to the end. And then we can start looking at the sand situation. And we'll pick the logs up as well. We can deliver the 6 immediately. The rest can go in storage with our mobile base for when we need them next. What's your favourite vehicle in the game then, Jake? As I say, mine's the crayfish. I really like using it. But what would you say your favourite vehicle is? You didn't expect me to answer, did you not? Why? Why did you not think I'd answer it? I know it's kind of a taboo subject in a way. But as I say, I think talking about these things does help. And especially as men, you know, men aren't meant to talk about these things and their feelings and all that stuff. But sometimes it does make a massive difference. But that's what I've said from the start. I'll always be as open, as honest as I can be. Obviously, there's some things I probably wouldn't talk about, but I'll always give a reason why if I'm not going to. Okay, I think there's probably only one more tree to do. I've not heard of Project Motor Racing. What platform is it on? I've not heard of it. Let's have a quick look. This morning my little boy gave us his Christmas list. He's done really clever this year. He's wrote it all out and stuff, and printed out a sheet basically of what he wants and would like, I should say. He never really wants anything, he just says he would like it. But and one of them is the new Pokemon cards that released today. Can't get them for love nor money. They're sold out everywhere. And if you told me a couple of months ago, I could have pre-ordered at least, or at least put my name forward. But yeah, they're gone, as far as I can tell so far. But we'll have to wait for them by lots of things. Right, I'm just going to do this tree to the right, and then we can use the mulcher to get rid of all the stumps and everything else. This one isn't in the way, but I kind of just want it because it's there. I did just do a quick search on my phone actually. It's out November 25th. Okay, so all the platforms. I haven't heard about it, to be fair. Made by Giants. That's interesting. Developer Straightforward Studios, publisher Giant Software. Yeah, I hadn't looked at it, to be fair. It does look interesting though. Yeah, maybe it's something we should look at, to be fair. I haven't done any racing games for a while now, to be fair. I think our last one was it Need for Speed, I think, or something. I do enjoy a good racing game. I haven't even, you know, obviously on the channel, before I started streaming, and before the accident, I would upload the odd video for GT Sport. And I'm definitely not the best in any shape, way or form. But I just enjoyed a good racing game. I haven't played the new GTs though, to be fair. Mainly because I haven't had a chance. And I wasn't going to do it on the channel anyway. Going in with the mulcher. Wasn't even activated and it was going mad then. Right, I need you to come up. Ground's a little bit uneven in places. This is why this is kind of sinking in a little bit. What I wanted was this stump here. There we go. I thought this mulcher would be really good. I'm not sure if I prefer this one. I think I might prefer the other one. The one with the big round disc on the front. I think I might prefer that one, to be fair. I haven't played. I've played one of the NASCAR games many moons ago, like a long time ago. I do enjoy motor racing. I do watch what I can. I think we're caught in a dip here. Oh, there's a stump there. That's what's causing the issue. Let's go down. Didn't see that stump there. Have I got it or have I not? I think I have. Yeah, I think we have. Yeah, I do. I think I do prefer the other one, to be fair to this one. This one struggles a little bit more. I thought it'd be better than it is, to be fair. I think because the other one's bigger in size, it can get to it can be moved around a lot easier than this one. This one struggles in some terrains, even though it's got track. Either that was just me and my driving. Okay, clearly I've got a big tree to get rid of in a second as well. See, I like the rally games, I have played them. Obviously the one that came out that we tried to do episodically, I don't know why, I just couldn't drive. I don't know what it is. I've played a few of them over the years though, and enjoyed them as well. That one I just couldn't drive. I don't quite know why. I will get rid of these stumps to the side just because I don't want to catch myself on them accidentally, so while we're here, it's worth getting rid. Right, big tree to get rid of. There's two big trees to be fair. I've not played the Assetto Corsa either, to be fair. Yeah, I've not played Forza either. It don't have too much to it. Does it not have too much in it so far? I thought it was releasing like fully. I don't understand what's going on with Wreckfest. They've released Wreckfest 2 on PC and early access, but there's no word about full release or console, weirdly. And obviously I've not played it on PC, so I don't know what kind of state it's in. Seems weird though to release it early access for a game with that pedigree. But it may just not be in a good state, I don't know. But I did find it a bit weird that it released the way it has. More stumps. Need to make sure the ones in the sides are gone when the road goes slightly bigger than it is. One back here, two back here to do. Spin this round. Yeah, I know, but you don't get early access on console, do you? That's the thing. But with the pedigree it has, I'm just surprised it's done it that way. Unless it is lacking content, and they're adding loads to it, maybe. I've already got that one. But it's just gone with the days when a game would release as a game, fully finished. I know people complain about the bugs, but it's not even the bugs that think are the issue. It's early access, it just seems weird. Everything does it, rather than just releasing a game fully. Yeah, we see games out in early access for like a year or two, to be fair. And I think for some developers, the smaller indie developers, generally it's for them to be able to get some income to carry on making the game. But for the bigger studios, I don't get it. You know, I can completely understand indie developers that just need that bit of income to finish off the game fully. But I don't know. Most of the time I find a reaction. Yeah, that's true. It is kind of like a public testing session in a way, isn't it? What do people think of the features? What can we change? As I say, I think it's useful for indie developers, so they can get that income to finish off the game fully. I completely understand that. For the bigger developers though, like Wreckfest developer, I don't know, it just seems a bit odd. But yeah, maybe it is just for the feedback. I missed the stump. No, yeah, you can see that stump there. Drop now. Right, we are, I think, done with this stump grinder now. Yeah, we are. That's all done. So now we need to work out the sand situation. That's our next port of call. Let's turn this off and chuck this over here. Before the sand situation, we probably need to go and pick up all these logs. Or should we wait for the sand? I think logs first is my thinking. Let's recall vehicles. Now, what do we use to pick up the logs is the question. We could use a proper log vehicle, or we use the mule or something like that. I think we need a proper log vehicle, don't we? I can't remember which one is the one I really like using and we found really good. There was one that we really got used to using and I can't remember which one it was. Maybe the Prosecco 200. Cronin work. Don't think it was a green away. I think it was the Prosecco 200. Let's use that one. We'll know pretty quickly if it's not. Because we were struggling with picking up logs for a while until we got one of these vehicles that worked really well. Mainly do we need to bring the stump grinder back for this bit here? I didn't realise we'd left quite a few stumps in the edge here, to be fair. Right, first thing first, we need to pick up 6 and deliver those, then we'll come back for the rest. And the thing is, better if we get the first 6 and deliver them, and then we know the rest can be stored. Now, I don't know how well this is going to go. As I say, we did find one of these we actually used really well, but I think it's this one. We have struggled with logs a little bit, more in terms of loading them than anything else. And that tree not be knocked down. Come on, knock the tree down. Thought I could knock that tree down, but it's not going to allow me to. Switch the camera to the actual log camera. Okay, first one in. That wasn't too bad actually. I think this may be the vehicle we did start using and actually got on with really well, compared to one that we really struggled with. These two are smaller logs. And we only need 6 to start with and we'll get those delivered before we pick the rest up. Turn that way. I don't know if I'm going to regret using this and should have just used the mule, but I think trying to use the right vehicle for the right job rather than just rely on the mule and stuff. Right, can we reach any more? Yes. No. Right, let's bring that back. We'll strap those down for a second. I think it was strap one of them actually, to be fair. So we've got 3 on board, we need 6 in total as I say. And then we'll quickly get those delivered. Yeah. Try to make sure we have the right camera on. The so-called AAA titles done, yes, early access. Yeah, I think in some ways for them, I think it's vital to trying to get a public testing session. Not every game releases a beta, do they, for the public? An open beta as such. I know they have closed betas to select testers and stuff, but not everyone does an open beta. of early access in a way is that. Whether that's the right way of doing things, I don't know. But then it shouldn't be called early access, should it, if that's the case? I just think the biggest issue we have nowadays is games not releasing finished. And it seems to be a thing that, you know, developers are okay with an unfinished game. Whereas, you know, we never used to have that issue. Because you never had day one patches and stuff back in the day. Games had to release fully finished. Because they couldn't update them any other way. So they had to be finished. Whereas nowadays it just seems more of a thing that it's okay, it doesn't need to be finished because, you know, we can still sell a load and then we'll just patch it, which I just think is a bit weird and wrong. I know the industry's under pressure to, you know, make money and things, but at the same time, I don't get how, you know, these companies believe players will be okay with that, because they're not. And you know, things get review bombed all the time. Some rightly so, some not rightly so. I think there's a lot of times that these review bombs are wrong. But at the same time, developers aren't helping themselves, are they, by releasing unfinished things? Right, we have 6 logs on board. So what we're going to do is quickly go and deliver these, as it is just a straight run now. We've already cleared the way. No, if I can actually take the anchors away. Right, we'll deliver the logs, and then we'll come back and pick all the others up, and then I'll take them back to our mobile base and then store them there, because that will put them into our main storage. This thing does pretty well in all conditions, so we don't need to worry too much about the state of the road at the minute. And once we've done the logs, we'll do the sand, and at least then we've done some of this mission towards the actual railway repairs as well. Now I've got a feeling we may be able to just drive in and take them automatically. I'm not sure if we need to manually unload or not. Yeah, they should be called beta, shouldn't they, when they're doing that? When it's a public testing session, it should be called a beta. Do I need to unload, or will it take them? Or will it want me to sit in the area with them on board? I'm not sure. Why does it say 5? There's definitely 6 there. It's not taking them though, so I need to manually unload or leave the vehicle here. I think we'll have to. I want to pick the others up, so I think we'll have to manually unload, won't we? A little bit annoying. I was hoping it would just automatically take them, but not to be. Come on. But yeah, I think a lot of game companies are currently, I think they're treating gamers badly with this early access stuff, especially when the price of games is only going up. And you know, a lot of people say, oh, don't pre-order games because you don't know what condition they're going to be in when they release, and I get that to a degree, but I still pre-order. But then I don't read reviews either. You know, if I want to play something based on what it's about, then I'm going to play it, and I will pre-order because I want to play it. I do understand this argument that pre-ordering is allowing companies to release unfinished games. I understand that side of the argument, but at the same time, you know, I still want to play the game. Whether it's a broken mess or not, I still want to experience it on release sometimes. Not every time, because we give you guys the choice not to play games on release, so we don't ruin the story and stuff. But sometimes it's just easier to pre-order. There is the other argument that digital games don't sell out, so what's the point in pre-ordering a digital game? But it's more so you can actually download it early, more than anything else. You know, for me, if we play a game on release, I want it installed and loaded before we start streaming at 8:30 in the morning. So for me, pre-ordering allows that pre-download, which means, you know, we can play first thing in the morning when we're streaming. I think that for me is the reason I pre-order when we do a game on release. But there is this argument that pre-ordering allows games to release unfinished, which is slightly right, I suppose, but sometimes it's more convenient just to be able to preload. It's not like years ago when well, I never did this, but a lot of people used to stand outside the shops, like Game and stuff, a midnight release to get the game physically because you couldn't download it like you can now. Is that a log to pick up there? I don't think it is it? Just wondered if that was a log laying there that we can pick up, but it's not. Just because it looks loose, made me wonder if it was. Right, we're going to clear all the logs on this side and then drop them off in storage, and then we'll deal with the sand situation and figure out what we're going to do there. This tree may be in a really awkward place. But the amount of people I know now that don't pre-order anything, as I say, I think it depends on when you want to play something, doesn't it? Because pre-download does make a big difference. Especially when it's going to have a big patch day one as well. You know, if you've pre-downloaded, you haven't got all that hassle. It's not really where I want it to be. Come on, that way. There we go. I think that's sped up. There we go. I was just getting caught a little bit. I think this is the vehicle that we found a lot easier to use for picking up logs. It is working fairly well. I don't know why we struggled with the others so much. In some ways, I find this isn't as sensitive when you're controlling the crane side compared to some of the others. Some of the others are really sensitive, I find. So this one I find a little bit easier to manage. And I probably could just turn down the sensitivity, but I don't really want to, because everything else is fine. It's just a couple of these vehicles that I struggled with. Right, let's strap those up. Oh, why don't we strap? Oh, it's because of mine. It's alright. There we go. Well, I've missed one. For some reason it's not stacking the small one, but that'll be okay. Right, it's got more logs further ahead. Still may need to do a few more stumps, especially at the start of the road. I think we should have done more there. We'll see in a minute. Should really put anchors on. There we go. Let's say all these are going to. We're going to put all these in storage if we need them for anything else later. The mobile storage device will help that. Storage device? Vehicle. I probably could drive forward here. I've missed the stump there as well. Just seeing that. Hoping to get two at once there. We have got two at once, but really not in the right way. Yeah, wasn't what I wanted to do. should have grabbed like that. There we go. We've got it now. But I feel bad for the other ones. Yeah, they do. The thing that I don't like is people that... So, developers these days are scared to delay a game because of the abuse they get. We've seen it with a few games now recently. Like if they announce a delay, people start threatening them and their families, and that's ridiculous. You know, and I think that doesn't help with games being unfinished. Because if a developer is scared to delay a game because of the abuse they'll get, then you can't moan at them for releasing an unfinished game, can you really? That's the bit where I think some of the gaming community, I'm saying everyone, but where they're a bit hypocritical. You know, they want a finished game, but don't want the delay that may be required to get to that point. You know, you can't have everything. I think if there was a lot less toxicity all around, we may get better finished games on release. Because I think to threaten someone's family because of games being delayed, I think is ridiculous. But I think that's this day and age, there's a lot more self-entitlement, isn't there? You know, people think these developers owe them something because they've played the franchise from the start and stuff like that, and I just don't see it. I just feel that if you're willing to, you know, threaten someone because of a delay, you can't moan when a game isn't finished. It doesn't work, in my mind anyway. Yeah, that's exactly. It's just I don't get it. There's just no need for it, is there? That's the thing. So I'm a massive fan of Football Manager. I played when I was a kid, and it was Championship Manager back in the day. And the new game has come out recently after being delayed, then cancelled for 2025. And now they've released a new game now, and the amount of criticism it's getting, for different reasons. Some are correct, some aren't. But they've changed the UI from what everyone knew to something completely different. And that's what they're getting a lot of flack for. Also, the bugs in it have been quite bad. I've not had them, but what I've seen people have, the bugs have been horrendous, and we don't normally get that with Football Manager release. And I think obviously the delay and cancelling hasn't helped the matter. But people are complaining, and it's like, well, everyone moaned when they delayed and cancelled the first game. Now you're complaining that this one isn't fully workable. But, you know, they were probably scared to not release it on time this time because of the abuse they had. And because they've changed the UI, a lot of people are not happy because nothing's where it was previously. It does take quite a while to get used to it. I think they recommend 20 hours of gameplay just to get used to the UI. I mean, something is very much spreadsheet orientated, because that's what Football Manager is essentially. You want that, sometimes you just want that speed of access to get the information you want, and you've lost that to a degree, which in some ways killed the immersion. But some of the reviews and the criticism is ridiculous. Although I saw it today actually, so I've not played Anno. I've heard of it, I know about it, I've not really ever played it, mainly because it's more of a PC game. But that released Anno Romana, I think that released today or yesterday, and I saw it advertised on Steam this morning. And I had a look at the reviews just because I was curious, and people would complain about the weirdest thing these days. So you need a Ubisoft launcher to launch the game, as it's made by Ubisoft, and they've always had their own launcher. A lot of games took the launcher out not too long ago from a lot of other things, but this still needs the Ubisoft launcher, and the Ubisoft launcher seems to be playing up a little bit. So all the reviews are complaining the game shouldn't be brought because of the launcher playing up. But you're not saying don't buy the game because the game's rubbish. You're complaining about a launcher that you use once before you start the game. You know, how is that a reason not to buy something? I get it's annoying and frustrating, and you know, you'd think that in this day and age you wouldn't need a separate launcher to a game. that you get off Steam. I get that, but at the same time, you're then putting a review on saying don't buy the game because the launch is playing up. You're not actually saying anything about the game itself. It just seems weird. Unless it's just me, but I just find that a bit weird that you're telling people not to buy a game based on a launcher that you see at the start and that's it. I don't know how many logs we've got on board, but I think it's quite a lot. Let's hope we need them for a mission at some point. I don't know how many more there are to pick up either, that's the thing. We must be close to having all of them now, I think. This one's too heavy on the end because I picked it up not in the middle. So trying to get this to balance right to get it on board. It's a bit tricky. There we go. Okay. We got still a few more ahead of us. I thought we were done, but I don't think we are. Whether I need to go and unload first, I'm not sure. It just made sense to pick these up now before we put the sand down, I felt anyway. Is that the last lot over there? Yeah, I think that is this is the last few here actually. So we are nearly done picking up all these logs. Definitely got a few on board though. I didn't realise how many trees we'd actually chopped down, to be fair. And I know this is time consuming, but it needs doing. We haven't really got much choice, have we? When this kind of thing needs doing. Okay, strap them back up. Let's move forward. So we've got 4 there that I can see. And there's another one just over ahead of us as well. I think that potentially is it, but we'll have to drive through and check, but I think that might be it. And then we need to work out how we're going to do the sand. Come on. I don't want that one there, do I? That's better. They moan about anything, but it's not good the fact that the game itself. AC Rally's equipment not working for them. I'm like, oh really? Yeah, like you say, you do see it a lot. I understand criticising the game because it's broken or full of bugs and stuff, or not finished and stuff. I get that, and I'm all for that. It's the moaning about stuff that isn't required. It doesn't help anyone. And this is one of the big reasons I don't listen to reviews. You know, reviews are very subjective to the individual. And even when they're done by big companies, the reviews I find, you know, people that want a game to be given to them for free, content creators essentially, they're not going to complain about a game because they don't want to upset the developer because they want the game for free. So they don't, you know, they don't want to complain because it's not in their benefit to do so. Which then isn't a full and frank review, is it? And a lot of them are just paid reviews essentially, which I find, you know, to be too biased. Hence why I don't read reviews. I rarely do. People have said about doing reviews on the channel. We've done a few, only when we've platinumed the game. I won't review a game until we've fully platinumed it, because that way we've seen everything the game has to offer. You can actually give a proper verdict on a game. People that review a game for 10 hours and say know what they think of the game by then they haven't seen it all. How can you review a game that you've not seen everything the game has to offer? That's the big reason I don't read them. I just find them too biased, and they're not proper reviews of a game because they've not finished it. And I know that means sometimes you need 100 hours to review a game fully, but that's not a bad thing, because at least then you can give a proper opinion of what you thought. But once again, it is just your opinion. But the problem is they don't read. Yeah, I think that's something I've seen as well with early access. People think it's a full finished game sometimes, and they'll complain and say, you know, the game's not finished. And I'm like, well, yeah, it's in early access. It does tell you it's early access when you buy it, but yet you're complaining it's not finished. It's weird. I don't get it. You know, if a game's in early access, you have a choice to buy it in early access or wait until full release. You know, the reason it's early access is because it's not finished. But yeah, because it's an early access, that's a bad thing. And like I say, I do get that some games I don't feel should be in early access. But at the same time, if it says it and tells you it's in early access, you then can't complain about it. I just think, I know the community as a whole has got more toxic as the years have gone on. For whatever reason, I don't quite know why that is, but it does definitely seem that way. And people, in some ways, are more opinionated, but in others are too scared to give an opinion as well. You know, you find a lot of people won't give a full and frank, or won't talk frankly about things, just in case people dislike what they say, and then they potentially get cancelled, as it's called. Because I don't really care. You know, I'm more than happy to give an opinion, but it is just that, it's my opinion. And there are some sensitive topics obviously out there, especially in this day and age. There's a lot of sensitivity needed in for some things. But it doesn't stop you giving your thoughts. Okay, I can't fold crane because of how many logs we've got on board. But I think that is all of them. I think we've collected up all our logs that we have got. So let's go and get these delivered. Let's double check there's no more on the way. I think we have got them all. Does look like it. Perfect. That is one job done. Taking us a little while to pick them all up, but we've done it. So now we can chuck these into our storage vehicle over here. Mobile base / storage. And then next we've got to work out sand. Right, I want the activate resource zones. Where are they? Okay, I don't think it will activate them because of where we are. So let's move forward. Now will it activate resource zones? Why is it not working? It might be we need more space, maybe. Okay, they're activated now, according to that, because it says deactivate. Oh, they're on the wrong side, that's why. Okay. So they're actually on the other side. So we're going to need to reverse up here and then come back a little bit just to get them on the right sort of space to do it. No. Reversing this thing is a bit tricky at times. I need to get back on the road over here and then straighten up. There we go. We should be able to just drive in with the logs and it will take them. I didn't realise the actual zones on the left, to be fair. Well, now we know. Right, resource zones are now on the left. I think we can just drive in and put these in. I may need to unstrap them. Okay, we may need to go more forward actually. I don't know if it'll take them. Unstrap. No, okay. Need to move the mobile base slightly forward. We can't get to where we need to put these in. So just slightly forward. Activate. I think the other vehicle's now in the way. This should have been really quick and easy to do. We tried to do games on funny because it's set in a split. No, I wouldn't say I am. I'd say I'm more attracted to something because of the type of game it is. You know, I like RPGs. I like games that have got 100-hour stories. I'd say I'm more attracted to that than a time period, I would say. Saying that, though, there are things like Assassin's Creed Odyssey I really enjoyed, and I think a lot of that was down to the fact that it was set in ancient Greece more than anything else. You know, I think that what made me enjoy it a lot more than I probably would have done normally because of the time period. But generally, I enjoy a game because of the type of game it is more so than the time period, I would say. But I think a lot of it depends on the type of game it is, you know. Yeah, I think a lot of it does depend on the type of game. Because time periods in some games don't matter, some they do. Assassin's Creed's a big example. I think the big thing with Assassin's Creed as well is people think the modern day story is boring and the game is all about the time period. And in fact, the modern day part of it is actually the main part. The modern day is the actual main story. And people, I don't think, understand that some of the time. Right, Sand, how are we doing? This is the question. Obviously, we've got a scalper, which is currently over here. We'll call it back. Make our lives a bit easier. I'm just trying to work out where we put it. Because obviously, we need to be able to get sand to here. Problem with the scalper, it's not a massive area. I may need to move because I don't think it's going to give me what I want here. It's wanting me to recall all 4 vehicles at once for this one job. I don't want that. I just want one at a time, and none of those ones. Right, we are going to need to move where this is. It was fine before we had to put the logs in, and now we put the logs in. It's made it a little more awkward. Should go straight back here. We shouldn't need to move this again because I don't think we'll have anything else to put in it. So we should be fine there. No, it still wants to do all 4 at once. While it wants all 4 at once, we know we're in the wrong place. We won't be in a position where it doesn't want all 4 at once. Like there, that's what we needed. No, it's still all 4. Don't. I'm not close. Oh, I am still close enough, aren't I? Keep going back. Keep going back. Right, let's try that. There we go. That's what we wanted. Right. Scalp is what we need. I'm not sure if it'll be in this bit here. No. Okay. I wasn't sure if it'd come under... Oh, it might come under dumpers, actually. I think it's already deployed. Trailblazer, Ball, Mule. No, it's not under there. It'd come under. There I don't know what type of vehicles they give me the choice of. That's all for that. I thought it'd come under road, but I don't think it does. And I don't think it's in the garage. Bunker, K-top, Hager. No, it's not in the garage. So what does it come under? They're cranes. Ah, here we go. There's a scalper. That's one we want. I'm not completely happy with how that's going to be delivered. Please don't fall backwards, because that will be really awkward. But this is our scalper. This is what we're going to need to use. Drive forward. Drive forward. Please don't fall down the water into the water. It will cost me another token. Come on. Come on. There we go. It's okay. I was more concerned it was going to fall in the water and cost us another token to get out. So this does give us a radius for a quarry. That's its radius, which actually is quite large. For some reason I thought it was quite small. So we need to find some sand for it to sit on. We have got the quarry here. We could put it on this edge. We move it off for a sec. We put it on that edge, potentially that would increase it, but I don't know if it'd be enough. This is more mud than sand here. There is sand down here, but again, is that going to give us the distance we need? I don't know if it will, to be fair. We can use dumper trucks to make the circle bigger. You want to check get set to any in Japan? Oh, okay. Dark Souls game set in Japan. That would be interesting. I've not played the Dark Souls though, to be fair, but I've seen bits and pieces. What about you, Jake? You've got a certain time period or anything? Right, potentially scalper here, and then dump trucks, I think, will work. It's actually a larger radius than I thought. I think down here will be too far away. I'm in two minds. I don't really know. Yeah, I think put it in the quarry here, because I think that's going to be too far away there. We're going with a small patch to the left. Take that off so we can actually see. Do you think this is? I don't think this is sandy though. Oh, do you mean here? I don't think that's going to count. We can give it a go. I don't know if that will count though. To be fair. I think I see where you mean. A slow and scan. Good shout. Very good shout. Okay, let's give it a go. Slow and scan is the way forward. We need to line this up better, don't we, really? Right. I want to come in a little bit differently, and then we'll just go along that edge and see what it does. Just need to get this to back up a little bit more, and then we can swing a little bit easier. Okay. So if we put low gear on, that does make a difference because we can go a little bit slower. Okay, slow and steady. That will turn yellow, I believe, when it can work. We just need to be ready to stop. Going a little bit too fast there. It's not liking any of it, is it? Yeah, it's not liking any of it. None of that did Actor said it was good enough. There is a patch here that potentially is sand. Let's try that. I think it's going to be, it will say that it's muddy though rather than sand, personally. But on the map it looks sandy, but doesn't always mean it is. Yeah, it's not going to say it. There's a tree stump there as well, which is not helping. You're playing on PC, are you? Okay. No, yeah, this is on PS5. I'm stuck on that, aren't I? Yeah. Okay. Not liking any of that. The map, like I say, on the map it's deceiving. It looks light, looks potentially sandy, and 9 times out of 10 it's not. That's the thing. So even here, it's a bit lighter, but generally it's still not. It's not sand. That's the thing. It does look like it potentially is, but 9 times out of 10, it will say no. Let's try down here. Obviously, it is a little bit lighter. I don't think it will work, but we'll give it a go and just see if it accepts that. It may be worth trying down here and seeing how far it reaches. Like I say, we can always use dumper trucks to make it reach more. So we can increase the reach with dumper trucks anyway. Which just means a bit of faff by refilling sometimes. But it is doable. We will need more tokens though, annoyingly. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, just trying down there and seeing if that works. As I say, it's deceiving sometimes, I think. What are you stuck on? There's no stump there. Just the uneven ground, I think, is causing it a few issues. I don't think we're stuck on it, it's a stump. It's getting stuck on something though. What is that getting stuck on? Can't see anything, annoyingly. Not happy about something. Okay, I think, is that okay? Yeah, it's fine. It might have been that tree, to be fair. Now it's fallen over, it's not a problem. Okay, this is a bit on the map that looked potentially sandy. I'm not 100% sure it will be. What are you stuck on now? I'm catching on something every time. I don't know if it's the ground itself, it's so uneven. Come on. Keep going forward. There we go. Okay, this bit here did look potentially sandy. On the map anyway. So we only ever did them when we finished a game 100%. And I've said a few times, should we do one, put it to a vote, and people said no. So we haven't done them. But generally we only did any reviews on the early days if we 100%ed something. If we didn't 100% it, we didn't do a review. So I think we did Days Gone, if I remember correctly. I think we did Assassin's Creed, Valhalla, I think we did. But yeah, we did do a few, but a lot of time I put it to the vote, and people said no, so we've just not done it. This is not gonna give us any sand, is it? Right. Yeah, it's not. I don't think it's gonna give us any sand. Just not happy about it at all. Right, what we'll do then is we'll try down here and just see what the reach is. Down to the left. Yeah, it didn't like any of this here, and that's all the same colour. I just don't think it's going to like it. I think it's just wants to be... we've had issues with this from day one, where what we think it looks like sand, it just hasn't accepted. But it's not a problem, we can do it this way instead. It's just more. It's just the reach of it is going to be the problem. But then we always normally set sand to be done by the AI. So because of that, we may not even need to refill. We just need to set up a convoy of vehicles, and it'll be fine. Right, so that's not. It's going to be further forward. There we go. So it's given us there, which gives us a radius to here. So we now need to put big dumper trucks just along this, where we're building the road essentially, just to make this bigger. Because that really doesn't give us too much, does it? Frustratingly. It may be easier to drive the dump trucks rather than recall them, because I think we're going to need at least 2 big dump trucks, I think. And we haven't got a base nearby to make it easy. Oh, we've got plenty of tokens, to be fair. We can buy more. It's the first time we're really using tokens, to be honest. So, what we want is dumper trucks. That's the bowhead 20 ton thing is heavy, isn't it? So remembering what vehicles count as a heavy truck and what don't. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, tracked heavy. Okay, so that we'll call that in first. Yeah, I know we can activate the 4. I don't really want to do 4 at once. Mainly because I want to just make sure we don't overdo it. So we're going to drive this down to the edge of the zone of the scalper, and then leave that there as a mobile quarry, and then we'll do the next one to the edge of this one, essentially. I know we can call in 4 once, I just don't need to at the minute. I think we're finding one at a time. We've got to drive them anyway, to be fair. Right, the edge of the radius is just over here. I think we're going to spend a lot of tokens pulling vehicles in. Okay. This needs to be in that radius, it can't be out of it. That's the thing. We're nearly there. It's not actually going to give us much. I thought it would give us a lot more than it is, but I don't think it's going to. I've got an idea. I don't know if this will work, but obviously we're starting off here. I'm curious to see if we give the AI this control of this to do the road here, will it automatically refit itself and we don't need to worry? We might as well try it. If this doesn't work and we need to put more dumpers to make the sand reach, we'll do that. But I'm curious to see if the AI will just do it anyway. It may do it. Okay, so now it's doing its thing. Let's give it a minute just to see if it works. Because you'll see it never actually runs out. I've never actually watched the AI lay sand down, but it never actually runs out. Well, it shouldn't do at least. If it runs out, then we need more dumpers, but I wonder. That's definitely laid down. It's actually running out. I didn't think the AI ran out of sand. Now what's it going to do? So the AI is now out of sand. Where is it driving to? Is it going to go all the way here and stop? I think it's going to go all the way there and stop, isn't it? Oh, that's annoying. I thought it might just keep going. There was an off chance it might, but I don't think it's going to. I think it will go to the end and stop. Either that or it's going to drive to the quarry. Do you think violence has influenced a person's mind to make them go out? Yes and no, if that makes sense. So I think if you've got someone whose mind isn't 100%, how do I say this? if you've got someone who struggles with mental issues anyway, and you add in something that's extremely violent, I think there is a chance that then can cause them to be violent themselves. But I think it's all very dependent on the person, age, how they've grown up. I think there's more variables to it than simply it's going to make them violent. That's the thing. Okay, it stopped. I did wonder if it would, to be fair. That was my concern, wasn't it? Was that would happen. Obviously, we can refill it down the bottom. But yeah, my concern was that was what was going to happen. Violent. I suppose GTA is probably one of them, but then you could say the Call of Duties are, because as Call of Duty's got more realistic, they've become more violent in that way as well. And obviously you expect that from that kind of game. But it is violence. That's the thing. Right, what do we do here? I'm kind of thinking we've put that in the wrong place. The scalper down there. I think we should have put it here. That's my thinking. Just because then the sand would be at the start point. I think we need to drive the scalper to here. Because I think the radius of it would incorporate this first point here. Yeah, I think that's the mistake we've made. So let's jump back in the scalper. Deactivate the screener. We've got to drive this back. Don't think there's another way there from here because we haven't got a bridge here. There's no bridge to go across. Oh, there is a small wooden one actually here to bring us out, and then this way. I think there's if we this may go really badly wrong, but I think let's go over the small bridge and try and get to the quarry on the other side and do it that way. Last was part 2. Yeah, actually, it's a good shout. Actually, I didn't even think of that. There's a lot more up close and personal violence in that, isn't there? That's the thing. Dying Light as well. I know it's more. It's not always human on human violence. Obviously, you've got the zombie side of things. Although they're not really called zombies, are they? Nice and slow. But yeah, I think the biggest thing with that, I know a lot of video games are blamed for violence and people going out and being violent themselves, and they do blame video games. I think some of it is justified sometimes, but a lot of it depends on the person more so than the game itself. If you've had a poor childhood where violence has been a big part of it, you're probably more susceptible then to being violent yourself. And then give you a video game that you really get into that has violence as well. I think you're then making this concoction that potentially could erupt. But I don't think it's the video game itself that's making you violent. I think it adds to it. It's not the sole cause, if that makes sense. I just think there's more variables. It's easy to blame a video game and say that's at fault, but actually it's more of a combination of things, more than just one thing being a reason things happen. But I think it's easy to say it's the game's fault. Whereas it's harder to say, well actually, they were failed by this person, and this person, which all contributed. I think that's the big thing. I still think that, age limits on games are there for a reason. Sometimes you do look at it and go, really? It doesn't need to be that age, but they are there for a reason at the end of the day. Like, I don't let my boy play certain games. My half's definitely stricter than I am, so he wanted to play Among Us and she won't let him. And even though you do kill people in it, they're not real people, but to her it's still too much violence at 11 years old, so she won't allow him to play that because of that. And a lot of that I think is because it's more personal violence, isn't it? Even though it's more cartoonish. But yeah, so as I say, my house is definitely more. Dying Light was more violent. I think the second one I would say was more violent. To be fair, because I think it increased from what the first one did. But then again, like I say, it's not fully human. Some of the violence is human on human, and not all of it is, and I think that makes a difference. This has always been the thing with VR as well. The concern was that people won't be able to tell the difference between what's VR and what's real, and that will cause more violence to occur. But VR's never really kicked off enough for that to be an issue, mainly because graphically VR isn't very good. But that was always a big concern with VR when it started coming more to the forefront. People aren't going to be able to tell the difference, which is I can understand the reasoning. But then if someone's more susceptible to that, don't let them use it. It doesn't reach. It does reach just. I think we can go a bit more forward though, to be fair. So that's... Come on. But let's do its thing. I want to go up a little bit more to see if we can get a bit more distance. There we go. No, okay, it doesn't like that. Doesn't like that either. Right. There we go. That's as far as we can go then. Right, so that's given us a little bit more radius here. If we jump into our dumper here, we should be able to refill. There is a... Are we not in that? I might need to go back a little bit. There we go. Now, I'm not sure how this is going to do it. We may need to keep coming back and then setting this off again, or do it ourselves. Obviously, I do find I'm not very good at doing this. What I'm thinking is we set it off again and just see how far it gets. It may even drive back and refill, I don't know. I'm not 100% sure if it will or not, to be fair. We were looking at, that was one load there. 4 loads potentially. And if we manually refill it, I wonder if we can then drive it to where it needs to carry on from, and it will carry on from there, or would it want to start from the start bit every time? I'm not sure. But yeah, I think Dying Light 2 is a bit more violent than 1. I haven't played the newest one, to be fair. It's been on the vote a few times. I think that's finished, obviously, hasn't it? Cancel. It brings it back to here. So if we now refill sand and set it off again, I'm curious to what it will do. Will it carry on from where it just stopped, or will it start again? That's my only concern here. Let's see what it does. If this is what we need to do a couple of times, we'll do this a couple of times. It saves us getting loads of vehicles and convoying it. It just makes life a little bit easier. Right, let's set it back off on the road then and see what happens. Because I don't know where it will start from. I'm guessing it won't pour sand here. It's on track, so it is pouring sand, but it's not, I don't think it's using anything. As long as it's not using anything, it's fine. It just needs to get to the end. And then it should go back to normal, hopefully. Right, so this is where we got to last time. I don't think it's used anything. And now it should continue as normal. Did it leave a gap there? No, it didn't. Right, so that's now continuing as normal. So that's kind of done it for us. May need one more load, but then we're golden, because this is the only bit we need the sand for. More is left. Oh, it's going to be just short, I think. Yeah, it's just short. How annoying is that? So if we... how do I cancel it? Cancel road. Ah, why did it bring it all the way up there for? I didn't want it up there. I wanted it down the other side. Okay, we've got to drive it all the way back up. That's annoying. It's close to being done though. There's one more bit left to do. And that's it. I wanted it to start further up because obviously we could refill it easier that way. I'm not going to use a token though just to get it back to the start point. But there's not much that needs doing. So it should be able to do the last bit while we start grading essentially. But yeah, we'll set it off once more from the start point and then we'll start grading behind it. And as we saw, because it's got tracks, I think that obviously makes it a little bit easier for it to manoeuvre and get through the sand. Normally, the other dumper trucks struggle, and it's all because it's got tracks. I think it does make life a little bit easier for it. But we'll refill it, set it off again, and then we'll start grading. And then we've just got the asphalt laying and the bolting to do, and that's job done. And then we'll go and do the steel beams needed for the mission that we're on. So we're going to need a load of metal, which shouldn't be too bad, too difficult to find. Right, let it fill up. We'll set it off, grab our grader, and off we go as well. Okay, select route, off he goes, job done. Let's jump in mobile base. We need to call in our grader. We want a specific grader as well, which is the Pioneer. Best grader in the game in my opinion. And then we should be able to grade behind this. Still never used asphalt destruction yet. I know it's obviously an option there to use, but I've never used asphalt destruction all the way through. There's never been a reason to use it, that's the thing. But yeah, this is the widest grader as well, so we do get a decent width on this grades. We can always come back on ourselves and it widens it a little bit more. I don't think we're going to need to. Obviously doing a road here tells me there will be a convoy here at some point. Would be my guess. But this does give us a decent width. But yeah, what was I watching recently? We were watching, in the UK there's a show where it follows real life police behind the scenes, and it's normally one specific case it focuses on. Oh, 24 hours in police custody, that's what it's called. And there was a case where this boy who some family members believed there was something more going on. He killed his family one night, and because of The Last of Us. He believed the girl in The Last of Us needed saving, and everyone was out to hurt her. But it wasn't a normal game, it was the Telltale series, which are more story-based, aren't they? But it was that caused it. He had a fascination with the girl, and he believed everyone was out to hurt her, so he hurt people first, and he killed his whole family because of it. But there was an underlying mental health issue that exacerbated that. You know, that was one of the reasons he acted the way he did. It wasn't fully because the video game was at fault. It was this fascination to this character that made him that way. So it wasn't, you know, you can't say it's the video game's fault fully. but they were trying to use the video game as one of the reasons. I'm just going to go back this way. I just want to widen this slightly, I think, because I think we are going to need to come across it while it's doing a convoy. So if we stick this edge this side, it will widen it a little bit more. And then we can asphalt it. It doesn't, when it does this, it doesn't make it uneven either, which is quite handy. You'd think it'd make it sloped because we're taking off one edge, but it doesn't do that. It just gives it a width. I think if it was on manual, it might actually create more of an issue, but this way is absolutely fine. These thin trees will fall, so that's not an issue. This way we find there's a stump in the way or something. It's not liking that tree, is it? Oh, that's gone now, it's fine. But yeah, this will give us just that extra bit of width. So if we do need to use this for at the same time as a convoy, we can overtake or move out the way essentially. I've never been a fan of the roads and how much of a drop it puts on the sides, whereas in a lot of ways this gets rid of that drop. Okay, that tree stump there potentially is a problem, although it can be knocked over, so it's not too bad. But yeah, so it actually makes it so it's less of a drop on the edge. Might do the other side as well, just so it's less of a drop. Because at the minute that's quite a big drop to that side. Whereas if we do this, it actually takes that drop away to a degree. We don't have to asphalt all the way to the edge. But it's more like taking that drop away in case we need to move out the way of a vehicle, or they take the corner a bit too quickly. They can get back on. Whereas sometimes with an edge like this, it struggles to get up it. This was something we only worked out a little while back. It wasn't until we finished the base game, really, then I worked out this was a way of doing things to make it easier. But it does work. But there's still little things like this I wish I'd known earlier. Because things like this do make a big difference. It's a few minutes now to do it, but actually long term means you're not going to crash into a vehicle coming towards you when they're on a convoy. Because the convoys don't stop. For anyone who hasn't played the game, the convoys, when they're on one, they'll beat the horn, you'll hear their radio chatter, and they'll quite happily drive into you. They don't allow you to do anything. So you do need sometimes that width to move out of the way of them. Or just to overtake sometimes. I've just seen the time. Where has today gone? We haven't completed a single mission yet. But mainly because there's been a lot of infrastructure work needed before we can complete a mission, to be fair. But this has taken a while, chopping down the trees and everything else. All takes time. Right, that road, I believe, is now okay. Don't want manual, I want that. It's because the dumper's in the way. Turn, turn, turn. There you go. That dumper is not in a very good spot, to be fair. Just going to quickly move the dumper out of the way. I always like to leave these areas clear so we can turn around and stuff in them with the vehicles doing the work. Okay. Asphalt laying time. We'll call in the asphalt layer. There's a specific one we want to use, as it's the better one. The Arling Roadworks 120 Special. It's the first time we're really using these tokens. Normally we just... Oh no! Ah, that's not fun. So we called in this vehicle to lay the road, and it's kind of spawned it down there. Ah, that's annoying. I don't know if I can get it back up. They're not the easiest things to drive, to be fair. Could the crane lift it? I don't know how heavy it'll be for the crane. I think we may need to try the crane to see if we can get it up. Because I know driving it is going to be awkward. I don't know if the crane can lift something that heavy though. I don't know why it spawned. Everything else is spawned to the right hand side. But for some reason it didn't want to spawn that way where everything else was. Decided no, it's going to go there and you can deal with it. Which is a little bit annoying. I'm now a little bit worried about it doing the roller, to be fair. Okay, we're going to try at least to lift this up. It may not work. And then we may need to try driving it. It's all going to depend on how heavy this is. I'm just going to change that. I want to keep an eye on where the crane is. It is tipping. Bring it up. Oh, actually, this worked out really well. I think because we're braced against the side of the bridge, that does help. Bring it over. Okay, that worked out a lot better than I expected it to, in all honesty. I did not think that was going to come up as easy as it did. That's actually really good. Okay, perfect. Hopefully it doesn't do the same thing to the roller. Right, let's get the asphalt lane done, then we can get it rolled, the road will be then open, and then we'll get these steel beams made and delivered, since we're only going round the corner from where we're making them. And then that mission's complete, although I think it's going to change to another part of the mission once we do it. Okay, just want to watch out for this stump on this left hand side. Right. Probably going to end up doing 2 runs with this, one on the other side as well, just because we have made this quite wide. May need a couple of runs to fully get it. We have kind of gone wrong there. Trying to make the turn a little bit and just didn't turn the way I wanted it to. Right. Is that enough? Yeah, that should be fine. Go forward again. It's always a turn, you kind of find it a bit difficult sometimes to get it where you want it to be when you turn. So sometimes it is needed to go backwards. Not liking this bit though, is it? I don't think there's a rock or anything in the way. Really not liking it though. I found that with the asphalt layers they can be very, very tricky and awkward sometimes. The ground isn't 100% smooth, or there's something in the way, it won't turn, it won't do what you want it to, so you kind of need to keep manoeuvring it until you get it to do what you want it to do. And sometimes it won't move forward and turn, as it's doing now. Come on. Not liking that at all. Not seeing anything stuck underneath. This may not end up as wide as we thought because this is deciding to play up. Down to the right. It's not because of any stick drift or anything like that, in case anyone was wondering that. It's doing it because it's getting caught somewhere where the sand is and it just wants to turn left because of it. Now it wants to go right. This one is actually a lot better. The first one you get very early on in the game is nowhere, well, it's a lot worse than this one when it comes to moving on its own and not doing what you want it to do. This one is actually quite responsive compared to the first one. That was my steering there. Yeah, it may not be as wide as we were planning to do, but the sand being on the edge will help us. Made the edge less sharp when you're trying to get back on. These rocks potentially could cause a problem. Trying to hit them just off the edge if we can. Okay, we are going to do another backwards run just to be sure we've got the width we need. The other thing with the asphalt and making it wider is the fact that when you set a route up, where are we stuck? Are we on a rock or something? I'm not happy. I'm really not happy there. Wrong button. I'm trying to put the things down, but it's just open up request instead. Let's activate that again. Can't go forward or at all. I've got no movement there for some reason. What I'm going to do is quickly planning road vehicle, because it will quickly move the vehicle for us. Select route there. No, it's not moved it. There you go, cancel road, that's what I wanted. Just wanted it to move, so you can see all them stones in the way there. That's what was causing the issue for it. But we managed to get it moved at least. But yeah, the stones will cord them underneath, I think. He really didn't like that bit. Right. Obviously this bit here didn't have enough tarmac, that's why it's not gone blue as well. Asphalt tarmac, it is the same thing. And then next is the roller, and then that's the road complete. Plus we've got 18 logs sitting in storage when we need them now, if we need them for anything. We did have 21 tokens at the start, now we've got 14 and we still need to use one more yet. It's the first time we reused it. I think if we go back to any other maps, we've barely used any tokens, other than opening up quarries, we generally haven't used them. Doesn't like this bit, it's a little bit of a rise here. I think it's going to have issues with. Yeah, I'm not too sure why that's there. I was obviously outdoing when we were grading the sand, potentially. We don't have to make it this wide, but it is just for our benefit, just in case we do need to get past a convoy more than anything else. And this is a mission road, so we do have the outline at least to follow. You don't have to what am I trying to say? You don't need a guideline to make every road, you can just make a road anywhere you want as well. Which we have done on occasion, or we've extended the road slightly just to make it more accessible. There's not enough asphalt with the start point either, actually. That's blue now, so there's enough asphalt. Right, that's the job done there then. We just now need a roller to park stuff out of the way, and then we're done. This bit anyway. So, recall vehicles back to the road. And the Ironing Roadworks 750R is what we're recalling. This is our roller. Again, the best roller in the game, in my opinion. Okay, switched on, it's ready to go. Definitely quicker than the actual asphalt layer, to be fair. So, and after this road is done, we need to have a look at where we're going to get metals from to make the metal beams that we need. And then we'll just need to swing around the corner just to actually deliver them. So we've got about an hour left to today's final stream of the week. As I said at the start, the schedule will be out on Sunday, 1 PM GMT for the schedule a video, and 8 PM GMT for scheduled live stream hope. Currently my plan for next week obviously is RoadCraft continues. We'll begin Assassin's Creed Mirage's free DLC that releases Tuesday. I just need to look at the timing of release to see if we can do it Tuesday morning or not. And then Ghost of Yotai will begin once we finish either this or Mirage, one or the other. I don't know how long Mirage's DLC story is going to be. I don't want to look either because I don't want to have anything ruined, hence why I try and do everything blind as we can. It'll be interesting to see how that DLC goes. Obviously we finished the game a long time ago now, so I'm curious to what it's going to do, to be fair, and how it's all going to work. For those who aren't aware, Mirage is the Basim storyline, when Basim was younger before we met him in Valhalla. And it wasn't exactly well received, to be fair, by a lot of the Assassin's Creed community. Everyone wanted a game that's back to the original roots, the slow-paced combat, the press one button to block, one button to attack kind of thing, and you generally wait for the enemy to attack you before you react to that. You generally don't strike first most of the time. It's normally deflect and counter is the way the combat works. But yeah, everyone complained about it. Everyone was clamouring for an Assassin's Creed that was back to its roots, back to the days of Ezio. And yet when it came out, everyone complained about the combat. And I think a lot of that is people misremember the combat from the old games. We've actually played them live on the channel, so I was quite au fait with how the combat was going to be when they said they were doing it like the old school ones. But a lot of people, I think, misremembered how rubbish the combat was originally. I think that's the issue. Everyone thought Odyssey and Valhalla, the combat was boring. They wanted the Ezio combat, but actually the Ezio combat isn't very good. That is road complete. We can, I think it's actually, has that rolled the extra, it has rolled the extra bits I think as well. Yeah, you can see where it's cut off the edge there. So actually the bits we hadn't rolled are now rolled. It's done it for us because we finished the road and it was a mission road. So that is now done. So we can leave it there for the time being. I do like leaving vehicles laying around. We need metal now to make these steel beams. We have done some via the crane that's here. We checked what we could in. We can actually make 5 beams as it stands now. We need 8 in total, with none in storage. So we need to grab a load of metal and deliver it. There is a load here. We haven't actually got a vehicle here to actually deliver stuff, have we? That's a scout vehicle there. No, we need a mule or something like that here, really. So while we're using our tokens, I don't know where the nearest vehicle is, so let's call in the mule Trailblazer. And we'll use that to go and get some metal, deliver it, pick up them and get this mission done. We want the Trailblazer. I do prefer the Trailblazer, to be fair, more than anything else. Have you just put her down? Ah, oh, done it again. What are you doing? So it's put the Trailblazer down there, like it did to the asphalt layer, annoyingly. I don't know if we can get this. I may be able to drive it up, to be fair, from there. I'll try lifting it, but I think if we can't, I think I'll be able to drive it. Obviously, it'll be a lot easier to drive something like this than it would have been the asphalt layer. Right, again, I want to keep an eye on the weight of this. So it is tipping. which was my concern. I don't think we're going to be able to get up, are we? I've moved the crane in so it's not right reaching out as far as it looked like it was, and that's actually made it easier. I know one of our anchors is over the edge. I think that's not helping. Oh, the anchors, I think the anchors are down as well, weirdly, on the mule. I don't know why it's done that. I'm trying to get it to go up, but it's not happy. It will not go higher than what it is. I think it's because it's too far away. We're leaning too far. Just want to get... There we go. Spin it. Trying to get it down as quick as we can. Yeah, for some reason its anchors are down, which is weird. There we go. Okay, we're good to go. That was a bit weird, but we've done it. So, we'll head down here, grab some metal. We need enough for 3 more beams, and then that will be mission complete. Once we deliver them as well. Which won't take long. And then we'll see what else we can do. Looks like the sun's coming out now. Right, metal is what we're looking for. Did show there was loads of metal in here. By the looks of things. Something big made it just done in one. Them yellow things there are all for sale. They're not for recycling. There's some metal things over here. I was looking for something big, but potentially one of the cars may work. Whether or not we can get it in the back. Don't know if the car will fit. Have a look, because that should be worth a couple of beams at least, I would have said, although it can be quite deceiving. You don't actually know what each bit of metal is worth when you put it in until it goes up the bar. You can't really tell in advance what will give you what. Just trying to get it to a point where we can potentially strap it down. Across. There we go. I don't know if this will strap, to be fair. Let's have a look. Oh, it will. That's okay. Right, we'll go and deliver this and see how much it gives us for it. I'm hoping if we can make 5 now, 2.5 maybe, which should give us enough for the 8. If not, we'll have to grab something else metal that's nearby. There's a few drums and stuff around, which will add up over time, what we need. Let's get this first one done. We don't want to follow, we do want to go where that is, but down here instead. It's our first time really being in this area or anything more than just dropping something off. I think we dropped those off over there, the transformers, as part of a previous mission. We're down here, yeah. So other than dropping the transformers off, we've not really done anything in here, to be fair. Okay, is this enough for all 8? Seven. Seriously? 7. Right, there is a bit of metal to our side over here. We're just going to drag that in. 8, there we go. It wasn't going to give it to us. Right, all 8 are out. And they've all been over to the side over there. So normally, they're on the floor. For this one, they're not. But we should be able to get them in easy enough. We could use the other crane. My only issue with the other crane is it's a grabber crane, and I really don't want to use one to get these in. Although I don't know if I'm close enough, actually. Just about. Oh, there's a lip there. That's annoying. Okay, I didn't see there was a lip there, to be fair. We're better off than going up here, I think, to actually pick them up that way. That lip is going to cause us too many issues to try and get them. So we just need to drive round, essentially, and just go up on the actual edge there and pick them up that way. If that lip wasn't there, we wouldn't have to do it. But then we're just going to drive into this area here. Oh, we can't get around that way. I thought we could. Oh, we can, yeah, the collapsed fence here, we can drive out and come. Can we go back in though? Is that fenced off? Yeah. I thought we could get in, but we can't. Okay. Which means we need to go round this side, which we haven't really been to yet. Yeah, that fence there won't fall down, so we have to go round the other way. But yeah, I think originally we delivered the transformers that are there, and that's the only reason we've been here previously. We could use the grabber crane, actually, to put them in. I'm just not a fan of the grabbers. I find them really awkward to use them a lot of the time. So it's just easy if we do it this way. Right, we got there in the end. Right, we just need to chuck these in the back, and that'll be potentially mission complete, although I'm expecting it to change once we've done everything to something else. I don't think it's going to be fully mission complete. I think they'll add more to the task at hand. I've only got one point of contact. There we go. So we don't really need to stack them neatly or anything like that. We just need to get them up on board, and that's it. Drive further forward, to be fair. If we anchor up, let's drive a little bit forward just to make it so we're just not having to move the crane as much. It speeds up the actual loading process. We're not having to move the crane. Come on. Next one. Thanks for the like for those, much appreciated. This year is flying. The news this morning as well was saying it's just under 6 weeks until Christmas. I don't know where this year has disappeared. I really don't. Originally, I was looking forward to next year because we thought that we might have the spinal operation and things will be a bit clearer in terms of prognosis going forward. And then with what happened last week, I don't really know if I'm looking forward to next year. I just don't know what's going to happen. Channel-wise, I'm looking forward to next year. I think, you know, the channel's doing well. The big thing that lets the channel down is the lack of being able to stream during school holidays. We do lose a lot of reach, momentum, subscribers, views, and everything else. And until I'm back doing episodic content like we used to, where we could guarantee every day we'd have some episodic content, until that happens, we are going to lose out on a lot of momentum. Why am I in low gear still? Can't turn low gear off. That's weird. don't understand. Low gear is not. I can't take it off even by pressing the button. I've never had that before. Okay. Well, it just means we're slower, essentially. Is it trying to make out we're overloaded? It does seem very heavy, to be fair. You can see it's sitting backwards more. It's only 8 steel beams, though. They shouldn't be that heavy. We've done more than that before. I just can't... Oh, it's off now. There we go. I can take it off. I don't know what was going on there. It wouldn't allow us to take low gear off. Now it's finally working properly. There we go. Right. Just got to drop. We just got to drive into that slot there. We don't need to unload them. It will do it automatically. As long as it recognises there's 8 in there, it will do it. There we go. Mission complete. And it didn't do what I thought it was going to do. I thought it was going to add to the mission in terms of give us more to do, but it hasn't. It has actually finished the mission. We're given new stuff though, so area revealed we'll have a look at in a second. Tracks. Lay railway tracks near the concrete plant. Near the concrete plant? I wasn't expecting that one. Right, let's have a look. So 2 new missions added. Restore the railway among the rocks. So we need to pick up the railway bits from there, by the looks of things, and take it to where we cleared the railway from rocks previously. That's the first one. And the second one we've gained is lay the railway tracks, which we pick up from where we are now, and deliver them to here, which is near the concrete plant. Oh wow, okay. Wasn't aware that we was going to be doing that. Perfect. But before that, obviously, we still got other things to do first. We're kind of just working our way down the list. We need to return the stash to the Hermit. Now, this is a mission we've had for a little while. The mule we're currently in is actually the ideal vehicle, I think, for this. So this stash is somewhere over here. We're currently... In fact, where was the area revealed? Ah, here. Oh, so it's fully revealed this area, I think, is what it's done. We're actually miles away from where I thought we were. I think we still use the mule for this, but we need to get to whatever this bit is here, find an object, and return it back to the Hermit, whose house is over here somewhere. Now, getting there, I'm thinking we can cut through here, but we don't know for sure if that's doable, to be fair. That does look really dodgy to get to. It looks like it's going to be underwater, to be fair. Which means I don't know the best way there, in all honesty. I think we leave that mission for the minute. Because when we do the pumps and things, that will reduce some of the water. So potentially that may make that a little bit easier. So I think we hold off. Reinforce the riverbank near Warm May. Now this is a mission we just need to deliver 15 logs. Now we currently have 18 logs in storage. So all we need to do is get our mobile base that's here and drive it to here and unload it. That's all we need to do. So let's find our best route forward, shall we? Now I think I could recall it actually and drive from the coastal base instead. That would be a better option, I think. We recall the mobile base and then drive it to here and then unload the logs there. Because that's all that requires, is just unloading logs there. What's this mission? Oh, that's to do samples. Yeah, I think let's do that. I think that's the easiest way. Thanks for the like, much appreciated. And the quickest way of doing it. So we'll recall our mobile base. Make sure we get the right one, that's the big thing. It's this one, the Warden Kozenek ATV. As that can be a mobile base at the same time as storage. So retain that, deploy that. So we're going to drive this to Warm May, and then if we get this right, we can just unload the logs, the 15 it wants, in the right position. Job done. No need for a second vehicle or a crane or anything like that. Now, which way do we go? So we follow this track. By the looks of things, we can come through here. Probably wouldn't be a right decision. We follow this track, we go left, and just follow this until we get to Warmay, I think. Taking a right instead of going across the bridge and not falling down that hole down there. So yeah, we can follow the track, I think. Because this has tracks, this should handle the conditions pretty well. Although it can be a bit awkward to drive at times. And the camera angle isn't brilliant. The inside looks quite cool, I must admit, but it's just the angle of driving isn't brilliant. And the turning circle is poor, as it couldn't make the left turn. Now, as we found previously, to set up the storage, it does it on the left, I think it was. So we will need to reverse into where it wants to drop them off if we can't get to the right hand side of it. We shall see. It's got some speed. Once it gets going, it's got a bit of speed to it, to be fair. I don't know again if this mission will lead on to something else or it will just be mission complete when we're done. We're not sure. We'll know that once we get it done. Well, okay, maybe they're going a little bit quickly. Bit of airtime there. So there's some wood been laid on the road and logs on the road there to make it a little bit more accessible. Okay, so this is Warmay we're coming up to now, and we want to follow the road through the village till we get to this building here, by the looks of things. I'm guessing you call it a village. At some point there's a yellow door there, so at some point we need a convoy here. Could be a little tricky. Right, I think it needs to be on the left. No, we still need to go around. It's okay. I thought it was this house here, but it's not. Is that a sofa there? Look, there's a little sofa on by the side of the road. People sit down, relax, and have a look around. A weird place to leave a sofa. Right, before we kind of manoeuvre, we need to find out if it is on the left or the right, just so we kind of know where we need to be. So, let's stop here a second. And if we activate resource zones, either on the right or the left, it won't activate them here. Okay, that's annoying. Move forward more. So normally if there's stuff in the way, it won't access. I just need to know if they're on the left or right. I think they might be on the right because it won't allow us to do it, which could be because of the fence. There we go, it's activated. So they're on the left as we thought, and to get resources out, it's the head of the vehicle. So that's what we just need to check. Left hand side, head of the vehicle. So if it's the left hand side, we need to probably reverse down here, essentially, or turn around once down there. Don't know how easy it'll be to turn around, to be fair. Although reversing isn't brilliant in this. Although there's plenty of space down there, to be fair. We should be able to turn around down there, I think. Once we can make this turn, obviously. Can I just drive round? Yeah. Let's drive round, because it's going to be awkward. Try and get through that gap in the fence. Oh. This looked like it was open to get inside, but it's not. The fence is there. Yeah, that looked like that. Oh, I didn't see the fence. I didn't look close enough. That's my fault. I thought there was plenty of room there, but no. So we need to go through this gap in the fence over here. think we could probably end up knocking the fence down, to be fair. Like that one just there. Yeah, we can break the fence. Okay. So we need to get this in a position where it will unload the resources we want to unload. I think if we reverse down, I think we can get this in the right position. Bring it around that way, and then we want to reverse back. Hope there's enough room to activate the resource zone. That's the only issue, is if there's enough room. So I don't think it will do it just touching the house. Let's see. It will. No, that's recording. Wrong one. That one. No, it won't activate it. Okay, that's one. That was one option. The next option is going to be out by the fence. Trying to get the turning right. We head back down the way we came in, and then reverse back enough that this is just on the actual edge of that zone, and that'll be them unloaded. There we go. Keep going back, keep going back. No, it still won't activate it. I thought this was going to save us time, but it won't activate still. I may have got this wrong then, if this isn't going to work. Yeah, it won't allow us to activate it. I think it's because the back end is not in an open position. So there's something blocking the actual bit where we put in resources. I was so hoping this was going to work. Just so it saved bringing a second vehicle down. Show more this side. Not doing it. It's not allowing it at all. I may need a second vehicle then. I was really hoping we could avoid the second vehicle. Have we got a scout vehicle nearby? Because that can always drag the logs into position. What's that? That is a scout vehicle. Okay, so what we can do is quickly unload the logs in any position it allows us to, and we use the scout to drag them in if need be. I think... Well, actually, this has got its own winch, to be fair. Thinking about it, this has actually got its own winch. So we could actually, if we can go in the zone ourselves, potentially we can winch them in, I think. I think that'll work. I know it's a lot of faffing around. We probably should have just bought one vehicle, like a mule or something, and done them at the base and then just carried them over. But I thought this would be easier and quicker. But it looks like I got it wrong. Unless, is there enough room here? No. Does look like there should be plenty of room to do it. Just won't allow us to activate. Okay. Will it allow us here? No. Oh, come on, I just want to activate the zone. Not there either. there we go. It's allowed us to activate the zone there. So we need to. Do I need to have something in the zone to actually put them out? I need the second vehicle anyway. It won't allow me to choose what to bring out of the area. So we need to bring a scout over. That's over here. This hasn't worked out the way I'd hoped. I thought we'd be really quick and easy to do it, but it's really not gone to plan. And even this isn't guaranteed to work. Which way am I going here? There is a route. I don't know if I want to follow that. I'd rather use a main route, I think, just to be safe. Which means going back to our left and up the track. But if we can get the 18 logs unloaded, we can potentially winch them all into that area, and that's the job done. We don't need a crane, essentially, but yeah. This hasn't been as useful as I thought. I thought we could just drive there, activate it, which I'm sure we've done that before. But we may have had more room. I think that may be the issue. But that way we wouldn't need a crane. We could just get them in the zone, job done. No. It would have been a lot quicker if we'd just unloaded, got them out of storage at a base nearby, put them in a Boron or the mule, and done it that way. Can't get past the sign either. This is stuck on something. Right, it's a log there, I think. There we go. So yeah, hasn't gone to plan, but we can still get it done. He's skidding around. It is very sensitive to any turning and motoring, especially at speed. So we just need to get this into the zone, and then that should allow us to unload the 15 we need. Because it won't allow us just to do it as while we're in the other vehicle. We actually have to have something in the zone itself. Again, not something I realised. This is the issue with this, and the reason it's gone wrong. A lot of it's down to that we've not really used the vehicle for that kind of action, the storage side of things very much. So we are still trying to figure out how it works exactly, to be fair. Which side of it do I want to be? I don't know. Right, there we go. Resource storage. Unload 18 logs. 15, so that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15 logs unloaded. We now just need to get them into that area there, which I'm hoping we can just winch. We move this out of the way. Come on, knock the tree down. Thank you. Trying to get us out of the way to a degree, so we just need to use Scout. Yeah, I'm hoping we can just pull them in with the winch, is my thinking. So they just need to be in the area, essentially, and then they'll count. Thing is, annoyingly, we can't do more than one at a time. Definitely not as quick as I thought it would be. In all honesty, I thought this would be a lot quicker to do. Would have been quicker with a crane, I think. Well, it's 2 in a 15. But yeah, this definitely isn't as quick as I'd hoped. Yeah, I was hoping to push them a little bit, so they're out of my way a little bit. Definitely isn't quick, is it? It's gone really badly wrong in that way. We're not really saving lots of time, although there's no point in driving a crane here now. So the only annoying thing is getting them in the zone. We're going to run out of space where we're doing currently. Four in so far. And that's number 5. Yeah, I don't think we've saved a massive amount of time. So much for saving ourselves some time. Definitely hasn't gone to plan. No, not that one. That'll do. That's 6. Obviously dragging them onto each other will make a difference, I think. As you're further back though, right? Right, up to 6 so far. We've definitely not saved time, but we will get this done at least. As long as I don't break from our continued driving on them, we'll stay in the zone. Seven. Number 8. So far it's been really clever doing it this way as well. How wrong was I? Number 9. Okay, 60. Did I say, why is that showing 8 now? It was 9 a minute ago. Showing 9 again, well, it should be 10. Myself in a little bit of a situation as well. It is showing 10 now. I think as we drive in them, it does move them around, and obviously that will affect the count sometimes. Rolling on the side actually does make a difference. That should be number 11. Yep, number 11. 4 more to get inside. Number 12. Okay, the others I think around the side. We're not going to go from here, I don't think. We're missing 3 essentially. Although I'm only seeing 2 there. I'm sure I got out the right amount. Unless one of these isn't counting. See if we can get that a bit further in, that one. It's now 13. There's a chance it's not counting one of them for whatever reason. Because I'm sure we unloaded. There's no more around, is there? We'll see if I'm being blind in a second. No, it could be the one on the edge it's not counting. I'm sure we unloaded 15. The way to tell would be if we go to here and go to there. No, it's not showing, is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I can't even count now. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay, I was wrong then by the looks of it. We still need 1 more. So resource zone, resource storage. Although we had 18 in storage, so that doesn't work out, does it? But there we go. We had 18 in storage, so it shouldn't actually be a problem. It doesn't matter. As long as the job's done, that's the main thing. Right, last one, and then that's mission complete at least. Unless it moves on to something else, we'll see in a second. We're running out of time, about 20 minutes left for today, so we'll see what else we can get done in that time. There we go, mission complete, and it has changed. I wish we just had a crane here now. So we've got to reinforce the riverbank here by putting these in certain locations by the looks of it. Down here, they all need delivering down here and put in the bank. So we're going to need a heavy crane. We're going to need the heavy transporter and a heavy crane, I think, to load them on. We'll get to that. We're not doing that now. I think for now, let's do the sustainable energy. So we need to put power in from here to here. We start there, come across here to here. I think then we just keep going straight, essentially, to all those 3. Now, where is our cable layer? I'm sure it's out and about. I just don't know where it is. Because once we get where that position is, we can then work out if we go back to a garage or we go from where we are. Cable layer, there we go. Where is it? Oh wow, it's all over there. Yeah, it's nowhere near where we want it to be. So we'll recall the cable layer to the coastal base. we may as well start here and just go along this way and do all three in one shot. It doesn't ask us to do that, but I've got a feeling the mission will probably move on to that anyway. So I think that's our best option there. Cable layer. This may even be the final thing we do today. But we shall see. I think, well, for 20 minutes, we shall see. First of all, though, we need to get it to the starting location, and then we'll work our way across. They all need power, so it makes sense to connect them all. Even if it means the mission hasn't told us to do them all in one shot, I think it's just easier at doing it, as we're already there anyway. And eventually, they're all going to need power, so it doesn't really matter which way we do it. It shouldn't take too long. It's a straight route. It's not really rocky or anything along the way, I don't think. I mean, after having a brief look at the map, I think it should be okay. Time will tell. Obviously, we want to try and avoid any roads where possible, so we don't damage them and make them worse. We'll try and stay to the edges where we can. I think we may even be starting underwater, to be fair. We should see. Right. Round this corner and then we're nearly at the start position. I'm hoping as well, because we installed all the pumps and stuff here, that some of this water might disappear once we've got power. Because that does happen as well. Okay, let's have a look at where our start position is first and foremost. So we need power to there, but it needs to be here. Although that needs power, the actual start point is over here. So if we go down here and round, I think we start here and just go to here. No, we can go along here actually. So we start off the roadway. I was right thinking we started underwater. A lot further ahead than what I expected actually. Doesn't look like too bad a route either. We've had some really dodgy ones trying to get power before. This doesn't look that bad. It does depend how deep the water is though. It should be doable. Yeah, that's fine. Looks deeper than what it actually is, strangely. The reason I picked this mission to do, I just thought it's something we could actually complete with the time we've got left today. Rather than the warm May one, we wouldn't get it done today. By the time we got vehicles and everything there, I think it would take too long. Right, this is our start point. So my thinking is, this is our start point. We head essentially straight to the start point. Stop there a second. So from here, we just go straight. We want to be to the right hand side of this, and we'll go along this banking here to get into this bit. And then again, staying up here. Don't know how far we can get around here. We may have to go onto the road here. I'd like to be able to avoid the road, but I don't know if we can get past here. And then that's going to this one here, and then from there, we just need to connect it all to the power substation there. That's the plan. How well it will go, time will tell. So it will stay red currently because our final part is the bit that's going to link the power. Whereas normally we'd start where the power starts and go from there. But with this one we're actually starting where it ends. Just because it was closer to us more than anything else. Okay, so starting to go the wrong way. I'll turn right. This is the only cable layer in the game, other than the rusty version. There is no choice. To be fair though, it's a really good vehicle. It does what it needs to do really well. We haven't really had many issues with it. The occasional rock gets in the way. I've just noticed how steep that banking is. Can we actually get up there? see. We have got track, so we should have a decent amount of grip, hopefully. But obviously, we're laying cable, this is going to be heavy. Okay, it's not like that. Yeah, it's not liking it. Didn't realise the banking was that high. What we can do, we go more to the right here first and then go left. I think that will work. So we come round ourselves. Obviously we're not going to use this route for anything driving wise, so it doesn't matter, you know, which kind of way we go, as long as we get to the end destination. Slowly trying to move it around. Some of these trees will knock over. Okay. So we're up, which is what we wanted. And it is still going. So from here, obviously we've had to make a little detour to get up the hill. We want to go to the edge of this power line and keep going up there is my thinking. Oh, for time, 10 minutes. Yeah, we're aiming for that edge of this zone. It should still connect as long as we're within the zone. Which we should be. We aim for that little island next to it. It should still be close enough. Yeah, plenty of room. See the zone now on the floor. Okay, up to the next bit. Now this bit is the bit that's got some rocks we've got to watch out for. It won't lay cables where rocks are. Some of these may need to work out a different route here, depending. Can't turn to the right a minute, there we go. Right, let's have a quick look at the map here. So, I'm wondering if we can go for that and get past it on this edge. If we can't, we need to go into the road and stay as close to the edge of the road to come back up, because we're going to there. I would like to see if we can go up. We won't really know until we're closer. If we have to use the road, we can use the road, but I'm just trying to avoid it so we don't do any damage to it, essentially. So whether or not we can get past the building up there, I think we can. Obviously the map is deceiving, it doesn't always show you exactly what you're seeing. I think we can get to the left hand side of it, which just keeps us off the road. If we have to come back and link to the left, oh actually, it's not liking that, is it? There was a rock there, didn't like that. Just got to be careful not to have any broken links, otherwise you go to activate it and something won't activate properly. Okay. Not liking the surface. No, I think we have to go road. You want to allow it or not? I think it may just be easy to go road. It's just not liking the surface. We'll go along the edge of the road just to make our lives a bit easier then. There's no point forcing it when it's not going to do it. There we go. So we'll try and stay to the edge where we can here. Just so it does leave room to get past without having this. It's not major damage, but it will do enough that it will be bumpy when you drive over it. This is why we try and avoid it where possible. Yeah, it's actually not horrific, to be fair. I think the first time we did it and went on a road, we soon realised that was a mistake. That's the thing. There is some road here, off-roady bits, but we should be okay to get past that. So we're heading straight to this power line here, just facing straight ahead. It is a bit of a slope, so it's going to want to turn a little bit. And there is a kind of an off-road track here, which we're trying to avoid where we can. So I'm getting awfully close to it, without meaning to. I think it's just the gradient is forcing us that way. We can go up here. Just see the outline of the zone we're getting to just ahead of us. So we'll connect that. That connects two together now. One more connection and then power itself. And that's 3 different bits done in one go. Hopefully it'll boost the percentage. Now this next bit, it looks to be lots of felled trees and what are they called? Stumps. So this could be a bit tricky because if we catch the back end on stumps, it's going to swing us around. I wonder if we try and go up here and then come back on ourselves. So we've got to get through. We're going to here to connect all the power up. This is the final leg, essentially. But I want to try and avoid all these stumps if we can. Just to avoid the machine, just so it doesn't have to keep stopping and swinging us around. Although it's not happy there. I didn't actually realise we're at the point of adding the power. I thought we had another connection to do, but we don't. Right, I may have to go through the stumps. Kind of gone a little bit off track here, but it is full of stumps now to my left. I don't think it will lay up there because of the rock. Yeah, these stumps I think are going to cause a problem. Let's see. Where's that stuff in stumps? Yeah. Sometimes you can pull the stumps out when you try and get past them. Other times it just won't do anything. Like that. What edge is caught on the stump? Right, then you can activate it and put it back, turn it off, and then put it back on, and that will do the job. It's not happy there, is it? I might be on a stump. I think that might be the problem here. Yeah, I've just pulled it out. See the roots of it now below me. We are digging up a hole here behind us as well. But we're actually on a stump. So many stumps around here. It's not been the best route by far. Yeah, small stump there. These are all really small ones, but they're all going to be really awkward to get over. On another one, or am I stuck on one? I'm on a stump again. Yeah, there it is. We've got to get through here. That's the thing, we haven't got much choice because the route we've taken. But yeah, this hasn't gone to plan. I should have carried on straight, I think, rather than try and go this way. Time we get stuck on one. We are just digging a big hole in the floor as well. There it is. I knew I was on one again. He was just trying to avoid, see where it was. Okay. You can see just there. That should still connect. then we just need to bring it round. Okay. Bring it past the stump a little bit if we can. Am I stuck on one again? Yeah. I think I'm stuck on one, which is causing the problem there. I think what we need to do is get clear and then reverse back to where we can, just to get the cable to connect. Which I think might be right here. You can see the stump. Get at the right angle, we can actually pull the stumps out, but it's just not the best way of doing it. Right, we will put that down. I might be able to connect actually here without too much hassle. Okay, lift up, forward, down. There we go, past the stump. Whoa, that was a lot harder than it should have been. Should have carried on up by the trees instead. All we've got to do now is get to that green, that blue area ahead of us. All this should all connect. And hopefully it's more than one mission done at once. And then we're going to be out of time. Let's see. How many missions will this complete is the question. Hopefully a few. Because it's only told us to do one of these connections. We've done 3. Come on, up the hill. Up the hill. It wasn't the easy, perfect straight line I thought it was going to be, but it's, as long as it's connected and you can't see it, it's underground, it should be okay. That fence I don't think is going to move. It does move, that's fine. There we go, that is done. It didn't do more than one though. So now that's saying there's another one to do. Oh, okay, but it's not here. So the next one we've got is gave us to do. So we've done 2. We've done the first part of the mission. We've done a second part of it, which is a different connection, and then it's given us a new part to the mission as well, which is this connection here. So that needs adding to power now, which isn't anywhere near where we are now, but that's near enough a straight run from there to there, I would say. I don't think there's anywhere closer. No. So that'll be a run from there to there. We're actually not near there. We're all the way down here. Over here at the minute. So that would involve us doing that in due course. But unfortunately, we're out of time for today. I think we've done a decent amount. We've managed to get a road built to the steel beam facility. That took a lot of time. To be fair, that did take a while. We managed to get the steel beams made for the mission, so we could then build railway that we now need to deliver and place down that was broken previously. And we've managed to get this done as well, this higgledy-piggledy line of power to different locations to get them running. There's the pumping station there as well. Yeah, a few things going, but the next thing for that one is to do power from here to here, which isn't that bad. It's a straight run, it's just driving the vehicle that we use for this over there, which may take a bit of time unless we have something close, which I don't think we do. But we'll work that out next week at the very least. Let's see what percentage we're at and see how we're doing there. We started the day on 49%. So it'd be interesting to see what it is now. Hopefully 60. I think that's maybe asking for too much. Let's have a look. 50%. We gained 1%. I don't know how that's possible. How did we only gain 1%? That's ridiculous. Yeah, we've done 14 of 23 infrastructure requests, 16 of 39 objectives, 15 of 22 side objectives, and we gained 1%. It felt like we did a lot more than that, but obviously it's not saying we did. But unfortunately, we're out of time, as I say. That is everything for this week and today's stream. We are back next week with more RoadCraft. We're also starting the Mirage free DLC that launched on Tuesday. I just need to double check timings. The schedule, as usual, will be out on Sunday, 1 PM GMT for the scheduled video, and 8 p.m. GMT for the live stream community post. So keep an eye on those for everything that's going on next week. As I say, RoadCraft, Assassin's Creed Mirage are the two focuses, with the new DLC coming out for Mirage. Ghost of Yotai will start once we've either finished the Mirage DLC or RoadCraft, whichever is sooner. But that will be the plan. A massive thank you to everyone this week. You've all been incredible. We're slowly getting more momentum back again after losing out school holidays and stuff. This is our first week back after the 2 week school holidays that stopped us streaming. It's been tough physically. It's been tough, but I think we've done okay. And you guys have been extremely supportive, which is always appreciated. I'm hoping to get some episodic content out for next week, but it's all going to depend on physically how much I can do, and how much I can set up. Can't really record laying down, and I can't edit laying down. I have to sit up, and it all depends what I can physically do. So I'll do what I can. Hopefully we can get SnowRunner at least back next week, maybe Wreckfest, and Metal Gear Solid 2 as well. That's my hope anyway. But keep an eye on the schedule for everything that's happening next week. And that will be out on Sunday. A massive thanks to you guys. Thanks for the likes, the comments, the views, and the conversation. As I say, schedule's out on Sunday. Keep an eye on those, and we'll hopefully see you in a live stream next week. Thank you all for watching. Have a good weekend, and we'll see you very soon. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.